Oh, I am. Oh, there I am. Okay.
Alrighty, hang on. We doing the
Yep,
thing.
I see you. Yes, yes. We have lots of audio happening here. Looking good, looking good.
That's all we can ask for.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I'm so I can barely contain myself. I'm just so happy.
Yes, and it has been a day. Alrighty. So, ooh, let me turn my phone. It is beeping like crazy. There we go. Alrighty. Hello, everyone. It has been a while. I don't think I've streamed. Well, I did stream Ever Crisis. When was that? Over the weekend? Streamed it over the weekend, but I wasn't on camera. This is my first time being on camera since the second Rebirth trailer came out.
Same.
But I am ramping up my streaming again, finally. Alright, so this is your girl Stygian Stilettos Gamer, aka Stygian Sis. I have with me the lovely Rhea Alexanders once again. How are you doing today?
Hi, my
Rhea?
loves. Hello, everybody. I haven't seen you guys in a minute. I miss you guys.
Yes, girl, it's been a while. Oh, so Rhea, before we get started, I definitely would like you to tell people. I put a lot of links in the voice chat. The voice chat. I will have all the links in the description as well. Once this video goes, it is uploaded to YouTube. I will also put them under the thread that I'm making for this stream. But why don't you tell everybody what you got on sale today?
Alrighty, so I actually have a Stygian exclusive coupon code that you can use for my shop, which will net you 20% off of all Final Fantasy VII inspired merch that I've created. That is including the Tifa earrings that I'm wearing here, and I finally finished her hair feather. So pretty much everything. What we have listed here is the Sunset Tifanet, which is inspired by Yeehaw Tifa, as we've been calling her.
Yes.
And we also have Nanaki, Dusty Red Canyon is dedicated to him, using red malachite.
Nice. So Nanaki inspired. For those who might be newer fans, that's Red 13's real name. That's a tiny bit of a spoiler, but not really. Nothing too bad. Which, speaking of, I like to give notice right now. My stream, well, at the very least, I'll tell you that is going to be spoilerific. The way that I tend to do streams is I like to give insight on the whole compilation, all the stuff that you can see in these trailers that tie into the compilation. So I will actually, I think I'll start doing some new fan friendly streams, but this won't be one of them. So I'll just let you know in advance.
We be spoiler heavy today.
Very spoiler heavy. Yes, I very much we love to dig into the lore. I mean, if you think I'm obsessed with lore, you should listen to this dork speak once. Don't ask no question about Burger Server.
Seeing as I'm currently making a video on the origin of summons, will be dropping next month, I promise.
Yes.
I may out nerd on this panel right now.
I'm happy to be out nerded, so for once in my life.
For once, I'll give you this one.
For once. All right, so we got started an hour late. I say we just jump right into it. So what we're gonna do is first we're going to go through the latest trailer, the one that dropped at State of Play. Then we'll analyze. Of course, we'll analyze as we do all this. I'm going to play it first, and then we'll go back and analyze. Then we're going to go through the gameplay footage from Nibelheim Incident. More like Com Flashback. It's more accurate. Com Flashback. There's gameplay out of the Junon area, and then there's also about 30-minute gameplay in like the Calm Chocobo Bill area. So that's what we're going to cover today. And then on the tail end, I'll give you the highlights that I remember from the dev interviews. They threw so many at us. That could be a stream in and of itself. So I think whatever I failed to cover or any questions that you all have, shoot them at me. And I intended to announce, well, I did announce, I'm going to be doing a fireside chat every Sunday where I just cover all the news of the week. So, and just talk, fandom gossip and stuff. I mean, it's not going to be like, trashy.
Not like too gossipy.
Yeah, nothing like, oh, do you know what blah, blah, blah said? But just telling you what's kind of going on in the fandom and what the topics kind of were of the week and stuff like that, and my take on them. So if you have anything like that, I'll make a hashtag or something like that, and I'll allow people any questions that you have, you can drop them there, and I'll answer as many as I can in my stream. So yeah, you can look forward to that every Sunday, starting this Sunday. Yeah, what were you gonna say, Rhea?
Oh no, I was saying that we can have a little bit of pay because we can be a little.
I mean, trust me, that would be some
just a little salt, a little seasoning, a little spice.
I'm sure Claire Dick or two will make its way in there. Just knowing myself, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. It's hard sometimes. It is hard to be classy sometimes, but. We don't owe anybody classiness all the time.
I call him like I see him. That's all I'm saying. So, all right. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Again, this is the trailer from State of Play. This is the one where they announced the release date. So let's watch it in full. And please, anybody who's watching, I'm watching the chat. So if you have any, audio issues, if we're too loud or the audio's too low or anything like that, just let me know and I'll adjust, because I did a different setup today. So all right, let's get started.
And also we just get loud. I'm sorry, we get loud. I'm Latina.
Oh yeah, well, we just loud. Black and Latino, we gonna be loud. All right, so you better get used to that. But turn your volume down. Hey, Charles.
Shouting incoming.
Absolutely. Hey Charles. Hey Keita Eris. Love y'all. Keita Eris has been on my stream before too. I call him Joey, but yes. Alrighty, let's get started.
The world's ending. At least that's what everyone's saying.
This sky, I don't like it.
Ready to fire, sir.
Welcome to the New World Order. Fire! Just close your eyes and listen. Tell me you can't hear that. Her rallying cry.
Planet runs out of energy. It and everything on it dies.
We can overcome our fate.
Am I the same as these monsters? Am I even human?
Okay, we're looking for Sephiroth. Think you can find him?
Oh, Sephiroth, you see.
So you heeded the call too, did you?
What are you talking about?
As you can see, your brothers down there are having a little get-together.
They're our best chance of finding Sephiroth.
Yeah. I ask because I suspect they're soldiers suffering from cellular degradation.
Do not be deceived. You know the truth. Trust in me.
Sephiroth! Come on!
On me.
Look!
Excuse me. Could you look after my friend? Just for a bit.
A weapon?
Tutelary creatures, set only to appear when the planet is in grave danger.
Who dares disturb my slumber?
It's upon us. The reunion. When worlds merge. I'm waiting, Cloud.
Oh my god.
This
is insane. So first let me start off, by the way, this is $350. It was tempting for a minute. I'm not gonna lie. It was tempting for a moment. I was ready to sell my house.
It's still tempting. It is still tempting.
That thing sold out in minutes. I mean,
it did, and that is the only thing that stopped me. And honestly,
it might have really been the only thing to stop me because my credit card was in my hand for a second. I said, "Lord, let me pray on this."
Square already has my saved, so I can just click, go. Okay, so financial responsibility and all that. No, I should not be allowed access to adult money. But it's a good thing that was sold out because I was going to buy it.
Absolutely. And by the way, if y'all don't mind, it helps the rhythm out. What am I talking about? It helps the algorithm out if you like the stream. So if y'all could hit that like button, that would really do me a favor. Really appreciate it.
Subscribe.
Yes, and subscribe. Yes, of course. Yes, you better subscribe. Yeah. Okay.
I'll come after you with my brujeria. I'm coming.
Whatever that is. Yes, it won't be good. Okay, so since we're talking about this real quick, Best Buy is offering, so the key art that you see on my stream here with the beautiful ladies, we have Tifa and Aerith, the dual heroines. I will never get that word right. Heroines.
It is okay. Because the thing is, like,
it sounds like heroin. I can't get over it. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking about a drug. It drives me crazy. The dual heroines of the series. And if you don't know, there's another key art. The key art that's on the cover you see here on the stream here. It has Cloud and Zack, and so this is a huge controversy because there are people in this fandom who just don't want to accept reality. so this was a big controversy for days, and then this key art of the girls dropped and confirmed what Claudius had been saying for days. It was an absolutely incredible day because they were like, oh, the skies above them don't matter and blah, blah, blah. Oh, those aren't stars up there. Yeah, okay, all right, whatever you say. So if you were lucky enough not to deal with that stupidity, let me explain what was happening. If you see the actual key art, there are Nibelheim stars above Cloud's head with a little bit of greenish clouds. And then there's blue sky above Zack, and the whole thing is Nibelheim. So what the skies represents, now this is not technically confirmed, let me put that out there. Dev didn't come out and say out of their own mouths what we should be able to view, what we should be able to recognize.
It's still kind of obvious.
Yeah, the whole thing is Nibelheim. I mean, the idea that there are Nibelheim stars and a Nibelheim key art is, I know, insane, but let's just pretend for a moment. But so we were saying like they represent the promises. So if you haven't played Crisis Core Reunion, of course everybody knows about the promise between Cloud and Tifa at the water tower under the stars. But Zack during the day also made a promise to Aerith while he was at that same he was standing right outside that same water tower. He made a promise to her. And so those what those two skies represent. And then there's a red sky for Sephiroth, which, you know, could be, it probably means a couple things. It certainly reminds you of Meteor, but it also could be like reminiscent of, of like Nibelheim burning. You know, I mean, you can think of a couple things there. But anyway, so that's what the big, so when that key art dropped of the girls, and Tifa's on Cloud's side and Aerith's on Zack's side, that pretty much settled it. And I think SE has decided, I think SE has pretty much made their, themselves clear as to what the canon colors are.
They're not as subtle as they think they are. Yeah, they're not as subtle as they think they are. That or they've lost their
I don't think they were trying to be subtle at all. I don't think they were trying to be subtle at all. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to clear it up. Hi, Gnarly and Mishika. Themyscira. I'm sorry, I'm so horrible with names.
Themyscira.
Themyscira. Okay.
I think we got it right. Themyscira.
Yes, and let us know if we got it wrong, and then I'll attempt it again.
Don't tell us if we got it wrong, okay? We're very delicate flowers.
delicate flowers. So they said the only people who deny the starry sky above Cloud Tifa don't represent the promised land are the same people who don't believe Yuzura is Noctis 2.0. Nomura is petty as F, and I love it. He really is petty. I don't know what that Noctis reference is, but I'm gonna believe you on that. And he is petty as hell. I'm telling you that, man. You know what? I feel like he set these idiots up too. I really do. I really do. Because they put out that first key art and they were like, I know what they're gonna say. Just let them talk. I feel like they did. I feel like that's exactly what they did. Like, just let them talk. They're gonna deny, and then we're just gonna drop this other key art on them.
Exactly, and that's just it though. Because the thing is, the average fan is not stupid. We know what they're doing, and then you get those aren't stars.
Yeah, there's no Nibelheim stars in Nibelheim. Okay, all right. Like, you keep talking.
And you look at them and you're like, okay, I can't really say anything. Because like I mentioned in the chat there, like, they came up with the blue alien baby.
Oh, Lord. Look, I know the word idiot. Okay, I should use the word idiot less. It's rude. But it's hard for me not to. When you just being that purposely.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to quote Doja Cat here. And I know that there's some nonsense going on, but I'm going to quote Doja Cat here.
Hey, Moon Bunny.
Fans ain't dumb, but extremists are. And extremists get crazy.
Cray to the cray. Hey, Moon. How you doing? So, all right. So, to get back to business, I just want to... I just had to talk about that key art thing.
Exactly.
It was the greatest clapback of the century. And Cloudies didn't have to do anything. All we had, like, Essie did all the fighting for us. And you should have seen some of the rationalizations that came out of it. Oh, people were melting. And I saw some of the meltdowns. Oh, they were.
Oh my gosh, it was beautiful.
Exactly
and
how bad this is.
This time around, I wasn't driving. So here I am screaming at the top of my lungs. If you guys have cats or dogs or any mammal, I am sorry. I am so sorry. But the pitch that I hit probably had bats leaving their caves in the middle of the day. I'm sorry.
Batman didn't know what to do. He was like, what the hell is that? All right, so.
I'm doing the hand claps and everything. Oh my. Clapping and everything.
All right, so of course we see Zack here. Now. So if you know that what his again, spoilers.
Yep.
This is a spoiler stream.
I love her.
Okay. You see that he's carrying Comatose Cloud over here. Mako Cloud. Let's call him Mako Cloud.
My Cloud.
Yeah, McCloud. You can see he has the 2 pauldrons on, so this is before, he never come across Tifa. I'm not entirely ready to give my opinion on exactly what's going on here. I'm still convinced he's dead. Yeah, you go ahead. I'm still convinced he's dead. The only thing I would say is...
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm still, like, I've got 6th sense. I see dead people. Bruce Willis don't even know he's dead. That's pretty much what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Because they keep reinforcing that they're not making any changes to the major story beat. So Zack being alive is a major story beat,
Yeah.
So it's just like
that would seem like a bit of a change.
Yeah, exactly.
A bit of change.
Now they're going to be pulling our leg a little bit, but yeah, this is totally Bruce Willis, 6th Sense. I'm dead.
Yes. Now, one thing you'll notice now Myra talks at the beginning. You don't see her directly interact with Zack, but she is standing right behind him. So that's the first thing you notice. 2, you notice that he's clean. You don't see the scar, but I'm not ready to call that anything yet, just because there's no, even in this timeline stuff that people come up with, which I'm not saying is right or wrong. I'm saying, none of them include him not having a scar. So I think it's just the angle. Don't take too much out of that. But
yeah, exactly. Otherwise, we're going Ghost for and I'm sorry. This is how much of a nerd I am. I can crap.
Yeah. The main takeaways is his
all of your
profile,
elements and what have.
Yeah. His profile does say that he's alive. You froze up, Rhea. The profile does say that he's alive. That's the first thing. Well, it says he cheated that blah blah blah. I'm just giving you the facts, not necessarily what I believe, but I'm giving you the facts. And again, you notice that Cloud's so comatose. It does appear that
the sky.
It does appear. Well, you can't see it in this one. Well, I guess you can. I guess the point is like Sector 7 is supposedly just collapsed. Yeah, Rhea, we got to get you back because you froze up. She might be coming in to come back. We'll get her back on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
At least it froze in a pretty good.
Says you.
Okay, so
look like I
there you go. There you go.
On somebody.
No, wait, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hold on. Let me refresh my thing real quick.
All right.
But yeah, while that's happening, in the edited video, I just put a picture over you for this part. So, yeah. Now, later we'll see another part that he's in where he's actually dirty. He just got scuffed up, and it's clear that he has not had a chance to clean up. He's cleaned up here, and he's outside of Elmira's house. Now, here's the thing. In the intermission ending, he's clean when he goes to the church. In this trailer, everyone's outside looking at something. It appears that they're looking at a Shinra broadcast. Here's where things aren't adding up for me. If he walked into town dirty, and he's seeing the Shinra broadcast that we see from the second trailer, the Sephiroth trailer, what I call it, where Sephiroth told the world that Cloud's in love with Tifa, then it makes no sense that he would then clean up and go to the church. He would know that she wasn't there because in the second trailer at the beginning, you see that she has been captured. So why would he clean up and go to the church assuming that she's there? He either would have seen it there, or let's say there's another thing that was floating around. And even I kind of was talking about this. Maybe he went to Elmira's house first. But again, if he's actually looking at the broadcast, it makes no sense for him to go to Elmira's house and clean up and then still go to the church assuming she's there. He would know that even if he didn't see the broadcast, Elmira would tell him that she wasn't in town. So now that starts to, again, this is the assumption that he was looking at the first broadcast. And the reason I bring that up, if you watch my Rebirth analysis on the second trailer, I suspected that because it closes in on Aerith's face, if you actually go look at it, it's like broadcasting, but then they actually close in on Aerith's face. To me, that felt like Zack. Like, oh, that's Aerith. You see what I'm saying? He knows Tifa, but he don't know Barrett. He knows Tifa, but it's like, okay. But he would be like, oh my God, my love, is up there. So that's kind of how it felt to me. So assuming that is actually what we're looking at, I'm back to there are two different Zacks. Now, what's going on with what's going on with Dirty Zack? I'm floating around some ideas in my head. I think the clean one, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we're looking at two different Zacks. If that is indeed the case, because it makes absolutely no sense. He would know that she disappeared, or that she's captured by Shinra, but he would still go to the church looking for her. Something's not adding up. And one of the theories I had at one point is that one of these Zacks is in Cloud's mind. The other one is the dead one, who doesn't know that he's dead and he's looking for Aerith. Or even if he knows that maybe he's found out, or he found out somehow that she could talk to dead people or something. But one of them appears to be the dead Zack to me. That's all I'm saying. So, okay, let me read the comments here. Let's see. Legendary day on Twitter. Oh yeah, it was a legendary day. When they say Rebirth, I jumped up and down. Yes. Segway Mall Cop. Oh my God. Yeah, we are definitely going to talk about that. I know I want it to be true. I'm not willing to bet on anything. All I know is I know nothing. Yeah, I at this point, with Zack, at this point, honestly, I'm just ready to see what's going on. I'm almost even done speculating. I'm just convinced he's dead, and nothing's really gonna, other than the game, nothing's really gonna sway me out of that. So, unless we get some like concrete something, if the next trailer shows us something concrete, of course I'll take evidence. But right now, I'm just not buying it. The picture is acceptable. Yeah, in fact, let's see. Can I just say thank you, Cena, for finally translating Eric's memorable quote, "Semi-right, the sky I hate it." Yes, thank you. Oh my God, that whole I miss the still sky's like, no, you're kind of missing the point. The sky, I don't like it. The sky, I hate it. Yeah. All right, so next part is, of course, we see Junon here. This is part of the parade. Now, in the interviews, they said that this Junon parade is the midway point. Now, this is very important. It's the midway point of the first half of the trailer. Rhea, do you need me to do anything? Or are you just spectating now? Oh, okay. Okay, now, shoot, I don't know. I don't have a picture of you, so. Let's see. Well, I'll just take it down for now. I think that's the best thing to do. Let me see. Yeah, I will just take you down for now. There we go. Now, there we go. So, I don't know why I didn't register that you were talking to me here, because it said Rhea talks a lot, and I was like, oh, that Rhea. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So this basically what they're saying is this is around 25% of the way into the game. One of the major things that they came out with in these interviews is Nomura appears to indicate that the last part of the game will be in Forgotten City or Forgotten Capital, depending on, it's two names involved with that area, but let's just call it Forgotten. If I go back and forth between Forgotten Capital and Forgotten City, I'm talking about the same thing essentially. Which threw me for a loop, because I definitely assumed, I mean, I really did. I was just wrong with this. Logically, it made no sense to me that they, I mean, especially with it being a trilogy, why in the world would it stop at Forgotten Capital? I still don't understand it. Maybe they're throwing us for a loop, because one thing they also keep saying is things will be out of order. But it appears to indicate that Forgotten Capital will be the last place. So, yeah, so this will be about 25% of the way through. And then, of course, we see Cloud looking as dorky as ever. Fire! That's Cloud in the front. Now, this is a change from OG, because normally he slides into, he tries to slide in without being noticed. Yeah, hard to not be noticed when you're right in the front. Okay. Now we're seeing different locations. So,
and listen.
I think this is around Coral, if I had to guess. I really got to go back and actually look. So don't take my word for it. I know your point was to take my word for it, but I think, but I don't know. So I'll cover that. I'll try to nail down the locations and cover that on Sunday. But we're seeing lots of new locations.
Planet runs out of energy. It and everything on it dies.
We can overcome our fate.
Now this is very important. She says we can overcome our fate, and this is a thing that the English keeps doing, and why I think people think that the whole point is whether or not Aerith is going to live or die. Aerith actually says here we can save the planet. And if you remember the teaser trailer from over a year ago, the point was, it says, what will become of the planet. It's about the planet's fate. It's not about one person. And this is kind of where I get annoyed sometimes, because the idea that Aerith is more concerned with saving herself than saving a world full of people kind of just annoys me. I'm like,
It also demonizes her. Hi, I'm kind of back, but not really. My computer's still booting up.
Okay, all right, no problem.
So no image, just my disembodied voice, because I'm a goddess, so I'm high.
Well, as soon as you're back, I will get you back in, so don't worry.
I'm gonna descend eventually.
So, yeah, it just, I understand. Of course, if you're an Aerith fan, you want her to live. I get it. I really do. But She's the Cetra. She's the planet protector. So all I'm saying is that we really don't have any indication that Aerith is trying to save herself. We really don't. We don't even have any indication that she knows she's going to die. Cloud is seeing visions, but what people fail to acknowledge is he has no idea what he's looking at. We know what he's looking at. It's dramatic irony. Isn't that the word for it? It's dramatic irony. We understand what he's looking at, but he has no clue. He just seeing flashes of this girl praying, and then he's like, I don't know what I'm looking at. And then even in chapter 8,
exactly.
when he's burying her in the water, it's like all blurred out. You know, like he has no clue what he's looking at. So he has no idea. We don't really have any indication that she has any idea or that she ever had any idea. I know that she had some visions of the future as well. She had some knowledge of the future, but even she says that the Whispers took it from her. So that's
exactly.
And again, once again, I say, and I've been saying for years, if all of this is supposed to change and they defeated Fate 5 hours into a 40-hour game, because that's essentially what Midgar is, 5 hours tops into a 40-hour plus game. I've never seen a story in my life where you defeat Fate 5 hours into 10% into the game, basically. That doesn't even make sense, okay? So I was calling BS on that to begin with. Yeah, and if they knew what was going to happen, why are they following the same trajectory? Yes, some things are going to change around, blah blah, but they're still following the same trajectory. You go to Chocobo Bill, you go through Mithril Mines, you fight the Zalem. We're gonna see the Zalem in here. You fight you meet Elena, you fight the Turks. You go to Junon. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like Coral, we go to Gold Saucer. We're going to go to Forgotten Capital, and we're definitely going to go to Simply Ancient. So we are literally following the same trajectory as OG, even though we've defeated Fate. It makes no sense. Obviously, these characters have no idea what's happening. So this whole idea that, I'm sorry, I have to do a small Claire rant. The idea that this man is time traveling to save her, or that she's time traveling to save herself, is utterly ridiculous. Nothing about their actions suggests any of that. So this whole idea that Hollow's about Aerith, once again, is ridiculous. All right, let me read some comments while your computer's restarting. The voice of God. Rhea doing a Nomura and providing voice from heaven. Trails into Reverie says hi. Thank you, Kedaris. The gameplay during TGS really shows how vibrant and full of life Aerith is, and I actually found myself crying a little because that's how you make people care about her eventually. Thank you so much. Yes, and then we're going to go over that because we're going to go over that stuff. Yeah, it really makes you you just see her enjoying life. I mentioned this over the week, over the last couple days. It's like you see her just having so much fun, seeing the world for the first time, because if you don't know Aerith's history, she was born in Icicle Inn, and then as a baby, she was kidnapped by Hojo. Well, her father was killed by Hojo. She was kidnapped by Hojo and her mother, and they were imprisoned in Shinra Tower. And then from Shinra Tower, she ends up in Sector 5. She has no memory of the outside world. So when they're on this journey, this is really her first time seeing the world. So she's so excited. She's like a kid in the candy store, as I described her. Like, she's just so full of life and so just in love with life. It's just it's just gonna make it heartbreaking. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm here. Let me in, please.
You're here? Okay. All right. Let me get Aerith back in here.
How dare!
How dare! You look just like her too. Let's see.
I can't wipe the smirk off my face. Hang on.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Hang on. Did I freeze again?
No, you're back. You're back.
There I am.
Okay, the beautiful Rhea is back. By the way, once again, if you could hit that like. Oh shoot, I'm getting feedback. Okay, no, I'm not anymore. Okay, are you talking, Rhea?
Nope.
Oh, good. Okay, we're good. Rhea, at the top of this, again, I will put the links in the description of the video and on Twitter. She has 20% off of her jewelry if you use Styg, that's STYG FF7. and she'll have a sale on her FF7 jewelry until January. Really appreciate it, Rich. She has gorgeous jewelry. She has sent me some. I've loved it. I've worn it.
And I'm probably going to be sending more because I can't help myself. What? I like taking care of my friends.
And also, again, this is a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth stream. So all right, so next part is, let's see, so this of course is part of the Nibelheim incident. This is where Sephiroth starts losing his mind because he realizes he sees Genova and he realizes that he might not be human. Now the truth is, of course, he actually is human, but he was pumped full of Genova cells as a baby. He's something between human and not human.
Yeah, he's having an existential crisis, and it's completely understandable, especially given who his parents are. They're not the most mentally sound, and I'm thinking it's genetic at this point.
Yeah,
poor baby was doing
horrible people. They're horrible people, but we can't get into that rant right now.
Oh, but when you're ready for that rant, I'm taking center stage because I'm ready. I got a dissertation.
Absolutely.
Find him.
Now, this is almost certainly, I can't imagine they changed this. This is from Gold Saucer. So you meet Kate Sith and Gold Saucer.
Yeah. And I think they're probably going to go the anglicized of his name. I wish they would have gone the proper Gaelic pronunciation.
Girl, they're not trying to confuse this
culture
audience.
into the world.
I can't even say heroin. I mean, you think they're trying to confuse this audience with Kachi or whatever? No.
Or something like that. Hey, we can at least try. We'll make the attempt.
We can try.
Yeah. Besides, we don't want to go pissing off Cat Faye. They vicious.
So, do you think? I think what happens here is Kate Sith says, "So did you heed the call too?" It sounds like Kate Sith that starts talking, but then it goes into Hojo talking. And I think Hojo's talking in Costa del Sol.
So you heeded the call.
Probably. We get to see him. Yeah,
but I can't tell. Yeah, I mean, their voices are a little similar in that, so I really can't tell. I feel like that's Kate Sith, but I can't say that with 100% certainty.
Exactly. Another thing that I can't help but wonder, because, again, we're finally getting voices, it's when he's listening in on other voices, are we getting the recordings of them, or are we going to get an amalgamation because his voice box will probably just come out in Gaelic, which I'm kind of okay with. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a little buggy.
Is right. Catchy.
Yes. Well, no, I can't say that. I'm trying to stop cussing as much on the stream. There's another name that people have for him. Let me put it that way.
Okay. Well, I happen to like that cat, so fight me.
This is a buggy that you get in OG. If you're an OG fan, you know the buggy. According to Nightmare, if y'all know Nights from, she's a big Kali fan fiction writer. One of my besties. She figured out that Yuffie is sitting in the front, everybody else is sitting in the back here. It's very hard to tell though because it's fast, but you know what? Oh my goodness, I forgot that this is in 4K. Oh, well, no, not this one. Okay. It's actually Blitz's that's in 4K, so never mind. But anyway, let's see.
As you can see,
this is a mountain chocobo. So they say there is no chocobo breeding in part 2, which I'm not surprised by at all.
Yeah, given the time constraints. However, I think they're going to have another mechanic to unlock the other types of chocobo, because breeding, like what, you can ride the chocobo in like the equivalent of a couple hours.
Yeah.
Given the push for a measure of realism, logically you wouldn't be able to do it. However, unlocking chocobo or leveling up Pico, which is the chocobo that you catch at the beginning, that's really the only way you can go about it, because if you're going to be racing your chocobo, like, you got to level up your chocobo.
Yeah.
There's nobody else that's beaten Goldie.
But see, they may not even. I don't know. I mean, and maybe it'll be a thing like, you got a good point. Like that chocobo will just stay at Gold Saucer and you just level it up. You know, whenever you come back, the more you race it, the more it levels up. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's probably exactly how they're going to do it.
Yeah, and so that's Hojo talking, and pretty sure that's him talking to Cloud, because he says your brothers are having a meeting or something down there. I'm just gonna assume that's Cosmo because they show it right after this. Now this is the most hilarious thing in this trailer, possibly in all three trailers. You know, they really didn't put this fool on a segue.
I swear I'm not insulting people that work as security guards. You do an important job, but he looks like a rent-a-cop. I'm sorry.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna be too frightened at somebody who's on the same thing as a child in the same. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
so, you know.
I mean, like, he's a rent-a-cop. What's he gonna do? Write citations?
Yeah, I'm like, I am not afraid of you. I'm sorry. Hey, Trixie. Yeah. Coulson looks gorgeous, by the way, though.
They're our best.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it looks stunning. I remember reading a comment. I think it was Silver that mentioned that it looks a lot like Lestalem or Alexandria from Final Fantasy 15 and 9, respectively. So it's beautifully rendered, and it does feel like a coastal city, and it also feels like a tourist trap, and I love it.
Yes.
So I'm just hoping I get my Baywatch Bay moment. That's all I want.
Yes. Now this scene is very, very interesting.
Because I suspect they're soldiers suffering from cellular degradation.
Now, from the first full trailer, which is I'll just call it the second, for lack of a better term, we'll just call it the teaser, the first trailer, Sephiroth trailer, the second trailer, this is the third trailer. So from the second trailer, Sephiroth, at the end, it says, basically Sephiroth says that Jenova can mimic people that you hate, fear, and love. After he says love, it shows, I don't know, Zombie Cloud. So we got Mako Cloud, we got Zombie Cloud. This is Zombie Cloud, the one that's... Okay. and then it shows Sephiroth killing Tifa. And he says, I killed her, so who is she? Implying that Tifa's dead. Yeah. What's really, really, really freaking interesting is this doctor, if you retrace the two paths, there was a version of this where they had the subtitles and it tells the doctor's name, and oh my god, I can't believe I forgot what the doctor's name is.
It's a complicated, no one can read it name, okay?
Gerbian or something. Yeah, let's see. I'll find that real quick while we're talking, but this is the doctor that saved Tifa's life. So when she got slashed by Sephiroth, Zangan, who is her mentor, who's the one that taught her to fight, he rushes her to Midgar. Oh, well, I think it's
I'm grayed out, by the way.
Yeah, and you are. Crap. Crappity crap.
Trying to get rid of me. Okay. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, for real. I was really trying to get rid of and so it's fascinating because they seem to be around Coral. He's a doctor around Coral. And the reason I can't quite remember if they do the surgery somewhere else and then she's in Midgar later, or if they do all this in Midgar.
No, the initial surgery or the life-saving part of the surgery was done in Northern Coral under his care, and then once she was stable, she was taken to Midgar for the rest of her care.
But basically her recovery, yeah.
Okay. So basically, like the wire mesh that's holding her ribs together and making sure her insides don't become outsides, that was all his magical doing. But the skin graft was done when Tifa was in Midgar.
Yes. So, let's see. What in the what? Okay. I'm gonna have to try this another way. But yes, I'll get the doctor's name at some point. But point being that he's the one that saved Tifa's life. Now, so Sephiroth is trying to tell him that Tifa is really not Tifa. Then he meets the doctor saves her life. And notice what Sephiroth says next.
Do not be deceived. You know the truth. Trust in me.
Sephiroth!
Now, what else could he be talking about here? He thinks Tifa might be not real, or we don't know what's going on in Cloud's mind, but I'm sure he is terrified at the idea that Tifa really is not her.
So like Ed Sheeran. Thank you, Nightmare.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank God, because I was trying to find this damn name so bad. It was killing me.
Yeah, so think Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran. Yes, I don't know why I thought it started with a G. Good Lord. Thank you. So yeah, he meets the doctor, and I feel like this must have come up because this doctor just starts talking about soldier degradation and stuff to him. I just feel like that's an odd thing to bring up. I feel like it had to have come up somehow.
Yeah,
and maybe Tifa came up. Yeah, go ahead.
What I think it is, it's we only get the middle of the conversation because obviously he's going to remember Tifa, like, fight me. You see, he's going to recognize, oh, this girl survived what had happened to her because apparently, protagonist plot armor. But ultimately, because we have the Sephiroth clones in the background, they are degraded soldiers. They have gone past the mental degradation that is Roche, and they're now full on zombie. So
now, well, let's be clear though. There's two different things happening because, yeah, like I don't know. I feel like whatever's going on. Yeah, it could be a combination of that and Mako poison as well. Because Cloud's problem is not actually cell degradation.
Exactly.
He doesn't realize that he has the good cells.
Exactly.
Well,
it doesn't. The good cells. But it doesn't make the fact that they're kind of there. It's hard not to ask about them. So let's say you're having a regular conversation, you keep looking, and it's just like, okay, we got these lurkers over here. What's their deal?
Yeah. But my point being that why would Sephiroth be like, the truth, trusted me, and all this other stuff? I suppose it could be about something else, but that's a hell of a coincidence that he is face to face with a doctor that can prove that Tifa lived, or at least give him some indication that Tifa lived.
Exactly.
And then Sephiroth starts talking like some God stuff, like
exactly. But I think
trusting me.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it, because Cloud's sense of self is intrinsically tied to Tifa's faith in him.
Girl, don't get me started on that.
But that's really what the story is, and it's hard. And when people try to denounce that, it's just like, okay, well, what game are you playing? The minute she stops having faith in him is the minute he cracks.
Or he thinks she stops having faith in him.
Exactly.
It ain't even, and there's not even a reality. It's just like she didn't know how to explain what the difference between, because her recollection was what Sephiroth was saying.
Exactly.
She didn't know how to.
Exactly. So even though overtly Tifa is Cloud's staunch supporter, she is not overtly saying anything to disregard Cloud and denounce his identity at this point. And it's not like Sephiroth is in her head. So as far as he knows, because he's only viewing things through Cloud's eyes, Tifa is perfect. So he's going to try to separate the two of them in Cloud's head. So he's trying to instill doubt in his head. So his voice is probably talking over or trying to I know this guy said he saved Tifa, but he's lying. You're imagining this. This is all in your head. Gaslighting. He's got a doctorate in that skill set.
Oh yeah. I mean, Sephiroth, a lot of his villainous nature, even though he does have godlike abilities now that he's attached to Genova, he really plays a lot of mind games. That is probably more than anything, honestly. Exactly. He plays a lot of mind games. Yeah, so I think that's what's going on in here. And by the way, just to briefly say this, when you said that his identity is intrinsically tied to Tifa, they've canonized this basically. I mean, well, it's already canonized, but they re-canonized it again in Ever Crisis. Exactly. And I'm actually going to do a stream about Ever Crisis soon, all the updates, and also I want to go through Cloud's character story. It's really freaking fascinating. But it ends with him saying that I need to help Tifa. I will be Tifa's strength in the Japanese, which is frankly I like better. It says I will be Tifa's strength because she's the only thing that lets me know that I'm the real Cloud.
Exactly.
And so it actually, if I'm being honest about it, even though I'm frustrated because I really wanted us to get the Northern Crater, now this makes sense why they would go this route, because it almost seemed repetitive. So you're gonna tell him that she's fake, and then you're gonna turn around and say that no, actually Cloud's the fake one. It does seem now that there's going to be some sort of transition. He proves that Tifa's the real Tifa at some point.
Exactly.
And so then Sephiroth switches up strategies, basically, is what it sounds like. And then, because it's more believable that Cloud's the one that's losing his mind.
Exactly. And not to get too far in the weeds, when you really think about it, a lot of this is because the two of them are like magnets. Cloud and Tifa, they're always going to find a way to come together. The Fates, it's kismet.
Let me go.
The reason why I bring that up is that in order to keep them separate, you have these actors, which is Sephiroth, Genova, essentially, okay, we have to try and separate them. So they're trying to shake both of their faith, the foundation of their faith. They're trying to break the magnet because between Sephiroth and his mind nonsense and Tifa watching Cloud having his moments where his consciousness is fracturing right in front of her. And then when we get all the way to the Temple of the Ancients, that will... I mentioned it briefly on Twitter, where there is a theory that if they do keep the scene where Cloud attacks Aerith, or some variation of it, it seems to, the headcanon or the belief is that Tifa is always going to be the one to stop him, even though in OG anybody in your party can stop Cloud from hurting her. But the theory is Tifa's going to be the one to do it. That is a perfect way to completely shatter her faith in him, which will lead up to that moment. So then you have everything else happening after the fact. So it does make sense. You see both sides literally having their faith in each other eroded. So from a
again though, I don't know that it's necessarily wrong. I'm hesitant to say that because I don't think it actually is. I think they will cling harder to each other trying to prove the opposite. Again, I don't think that. Well, it remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it really is just that Tifa's shocked by the news and what Sephiroth. She can't disprove what Sephiroth's saying.
Exactly.
She just don't know. She doesn't know what to think.
Exactly. So ultimately, all you need is a little chip in the armor.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a moment of hesitation. I would say it's not like I don't think she comes to the conclusion. Oh, Cloud is not real. I don't think.
It's not that Cloud's not real. It's Cloud's not okay.
Yeah, well,
and I think part of that is also because if you look at Cloud and Tifa can't stop touching each other. You have to find a reason to keep them separated long enough to make it to the live stream, because otherwise we gonna be skipping a lot of parts to get to Under the Highwind. They gotta separate them a bit because the story or the characters within the story, they keep trying to bump some bits.
Girl, look, when you said, I know the whole audience must have noticed when you said Cloud and Tifa are gonna find a way to come together.
Technically, my statement was PG. I am friendly.
It took everything. I was trying to hold back laughter because I almost said something, girl. Oh Lord!
I'm gonna get you into trouble, but I'm trying. But still, the reason why I think we have this redoubled effort to denounce the existence of the two of them, because I mean, who can pretty much say that Tifa's real before Midgar? Mm-hmm. There's nobody confirming her existence either. I mean, you don't see Zangan until ever.
Yeah, for real. All right, let's keep moving. So, of course, this is Zalem here.
The Midgar Zalem.
Yeah, the Midgar Zalem. He's scary.
He's
very
cute.
Scary. Whatever cute. You say, cute to me, huh?
I like him. I'm sorry, he's cute.
Oh, I just love
Which fun lore fact? Wasn't he technically the one that is essentially holding the mantle of the earth?
I honestly.
Okay, well, we're gonna
have to be asking me questions on the fly like that. I don't know.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to do a mythology conversation. Hang on. Hang on. Where's the other dude? We gonna have this conversation one day.
Okay. Come on. So, we're gonna find out later. Isn't this the thing that attacks Yuffie?
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing that attacks Yuffie and also attacks Priscilla.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, hang on.
So we see some synergy attacks.
Yeah, most of the synergies are just yeet.
Here's part of the Nibelheim incident.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, Kyle flashback, whatever.
Yeah.
Same diff. Yeah, and you actually do get to fight. You get to fight with Sephiroth, and you do get to fight as Sephiroth at one point.
Yeah. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. Look at him looking like a L'Oreal model. I'm looking forward to this.
Alexander.
But
Odin, which is a badass.
Yes, he is.
Now, this is the gold saucer. One of the bigger pieces of news that came out is the gold saucer, the gondola ride. Now, Katase specifically said the gondola event is what will be optional. So, basically, there's these side quests that you can do. We'll get into it later, but there's side quests you can do for each character. And also, the more synergy attacks you do with certain characters and stuff like that. So, it's like battle system plus the side quests eventually lead to an extra scene with somebody on the gondola, basically. Yeah. So that's why Aerith's line "I'm searching for you" is in the first in the teaser trailer. Yeah. Which to me, the fact that you could get if the gondola scene is where it is generally from OG, and we're only getting the Forgotten City, that means it's 75% of the way through this story. Right? Yeah. Through Rebirth. That, by definition, tells you absolutely nothing happens between Cloud and Aerith. Because if it did, why would she finally be coming to the room like, oh, I actually don't know him. Maybe I should get to know you. Exactly. Yeah, you're not Zach. And I'm actually going to do a stream on the date scenes because I think it's an interesting topic to get through. And I
think people also don't really. People are only remembering the last time they remembered those scenes. So there's a vagueness there. So we're looking at it through rose-colored glasses. And that in itself is sometimes fine because nostalgia lenses being what they are. But I don't think people remember any of the scenes the way they actually were.
I really don't think they do. So yeah, we're definitely going to go through those one day. But I will say that for another thing. But the point is, finally one of the big reveals is the gondola scene. He didn't say the whole date. He specifically said the gondola. So I found that very interesting. Yeah. It's going to be optional. You keep talking. I need another green tea. You keep talking.
Okay. So ultimately, what I truly think with regards to the whole date thing is that no, I'm not collecting money on the bets. I'm still right, but there's no money to be collected. So I am gonna be completely candid. I'm not crazy about the idea of the gondola itself being optional, but given the Easter eggs throughout part 1 of Remake, it's very much
everything you just said.
Sections of the date are going to be allocated to different characters. So it's very possible that Tifa's still going to be the one performing because we have Andrea alluding that he wants to perform with Tifa on stage. Not you, my love.
I want to perform with Tifa on stage.
I do too, but you're not going to be happy with the stage I want to be performing with her on.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's going to be a whole different stage for you. My clothes will be on.
We gonna be selling out freaking tickets and.
All right, so let's see. So yeah, the gondola ride will be optional.
I'm not crazy about that, though.
Brianna. Oh well, yeah. Here's the thing. This is the reality, and this is what I was trying to tell people. Eric, there are just certain realities that we're just not going to be able to. We just have to live with. Even if they're annoying, we just have to live with. Exactly. There's a conclusion to both sides of the LTD, right? Yeah. Aerith falls for Cloud. That is part of her story. That's the whole reason she follows him out of town. Is because she gains, she's reminded of Zack through him, and it gives her the courage to finally venture outside the city and start trying to actually do something about what's going on, because she's been kind of stagnant. She's been,
she's been in limbo, and it does help her come to terms with the fact that she's fallen for Zack's shadow, as it is. And yes, you do get that conclusion. However, my beef, which is I know is different from everybody else, or maybe not, is
I think you're in the majority on this one.
It's just like as a girl, I would not go on a gondola ride or Ferris wheel ride with my friend's man or the person that she's also infatuated with. It's just I'm sorry, bra code.
Yeah, I hear you, and you made some valid points about it. there's no, I mean, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And that's what I've been trying to tell people since the beginning. And even I kind of fell for it sometimes with, this back and forth, like, oh, well, maybe they won't add it. These date scenes are too iconic, and even beyond that, even beyond the amount of fans that were screaming for years that they want to see these different optional scenes.
Yeah.
In Gold Saucer.
Yeah.
Again, Aerith's arc, pretty much. I mean, her whole arc is about Cloud. If you read her, it's mostly about Cloud, and it's partially, I mean, honestly, an OG partially about the Cetra thing. Now they're making it a little bit more even. They're making it more on the Cetra side and actually focusing on saving the planet.
Exactly.
I feel like they really did her character injustice. I'm really not trying to talk, trash about it, but OG Aerith pretty much was 90%. Let me jump on Cloud. 10%. Oh, I might want to save the planet in the meantime. Like it really was not a good look. It was clearly a product of the 90s. It is
and it's hard to shake off all of that with while still maintaining the core tenets of the game and while still maintaining our nostalgia to the game. So what it ultimately becomes, just like Narili said, and just like pretty much all of us are at that point, is just like, okay, well, we know that this is going to happen. Mm-hmm. How is it going to affect the friendship that you've created? Because all I'm thinking is, do not take my girlfriendship away. Mm-hmm. Let me keep my girlfriendship.
Yeah, so I'm trying to. I feel like they're going to find as less messy of a way to do it as possible. Because first off, they've watered it down entirely. Because literally, and I was wrong on this. I thought that they would cut out Yuffie. Mm-hmm. I wasn't necessarily convinced they cut out Barry, but I thought surely they're not gonna have this fool on a gondola with a 16-year-old. Apparently I was wrong. So I mean, like, but the fact that you, and now they're adding the noggin. So the fact that you could be on the gondola with a dog, a man, and a 16-year-old, they watered it down entirely. First off, so that also tells me, like, clearly somebody, however they get on this gondola. First off, I hope that she's not going to walk over the Cloud like she did in OG and be like, hey, let's go on a date.
Exactly.
I don't think it's going to happen that way, just because they've done so much work trying to make their friendship. Is that? It's not a monk or God talking. Which one is it?
It's monk.
Well, it could
God
be
is
both.
Me.
It could be both.
It could be both.
We already discussed this. God is me.
Yeah, so Monk, we're talking about the Gold Saucer days now.
Yeah,
I love how I thought we were gonna get through all of this. We may get through this and get through the first Nibelheim and stuff. We may have to save the other one for Sunday because we already an hour in.
Let me just say this about the Gold Saucer stuff, is that I really do think that they're going to lean in on each of these quote-unquote dates being very different from each other. They're not all going to be quote-unquote romantically coded like they were. It's not going to be a copy and paste of each scene. Each character is going to have a different interaction with Cloud.
Exactly, because they want to maintain their replayability as well. Because even though they've done so much of Part 3 already, they want to make sure that we have something to keep us busy while we wait for the next installment. Replayability is kind of mandatory.
Yeah, absolutely. And frankly, we saw this in the resolution scenes. We just saw this in general, though, and it's a lot starker because we have the benefit of voice, we have the benefit of body language. You can see the expressions on Cloud's face. Mm-hmm. And I can tell who Cloud is interacting with. I don't even have to see who the other character is. I can tell who's interacting with just by his
exactly. And I don't want to go through that again because that was awkward.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like if I had to guess, when Cloud is on the gondola with Aerith, he's gonna be like, I mean, he may be a little friendly, but he's gonna keep his distance. He's not gonna be. If she starts getting weird about it, he's gonna be like, okay, he's and like I think of Language of Flowers when she said, I'm trying extra hard today because it's a special day, and he looked at her and was like, what's so special about it? And she was shocked, and she was like, never mind. Meanwhile, Cloud, Atifa just making him a drink in the bar, and he's all smiles and flirting, leaning in and stuff, and like, oh, beautiful.
Exactly.
You can just tell who he's talking to. And with Barrett, he's like ribbing and like, yeah, whatever, and he's like,
and also the whole don't flirt with my daughter. I hope that doesn't pop up because that's. And
I'm sorry, real quick, Monk. And it's not that I'm concerned what Cloud is gonna do. Yeah. It's just I don't want them to revert Aerith back to OG Aerith. Aerith is so much better in the remake and the compilation, and I love her friendship with Tifa. I don't want them to forget the LTD economic Cloudy. I don't want them to start pitting two dual heroines as we see on this graphic.
Exactly.
There's no reason to do this. Yeah, and Tifa's already gonna lose her bestie.
Exactly.
Let her enjoy Aerith while she's here. Let us enjoy Aerith while she's here.
Exactly.
Don't make us hate her because she's backstabbing Tifa.
Exactly. And also
go out the cloud.
Do not turn her into Jessie 2.0. She's already had one. She's already had one back.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
And I was just gonna say that if that key art is any indication, and the fact that they are shoving Zack so much into this narrative, like Zack Fair is taken like front and center here. There is no way I can see them turning this around. Like they're really gonna lean into Aerith clinging onto Cloud because he reminds her of Zack. That's what this all is leading up to anyway.
But I don't care about that. I care about what that's going to do to Aerith. Because here's my concern. Now that we have Yuffie in the party, yes, she's 16, but she's still Tifa's self-proclaimed best friend, post, into Advent Children and onward, right? So it's just like, so we've replaced her friend, so now we can ruin this friendship because we have one good girl friendship, and I'm like, no, protect them all, no.
Yes. And with Barrett's sake, they definitely cannot mention that Marlene thing. My God, please do not do that because that's gonna be real awkward. I was just playing Ever Crisis earlier because I was recording some videos and I'm gonna post a bunch of videos from it this week. And Marlene even comes out and she's like, "Dad," and then she realizes that's Cloud. Like I even felt like that was a tiny bit of foreshadowing, her.
It kind of was when you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Especially in retrospect, at least it kind of feels like, yeah. But anyway, that's going off topic.
If I may add something else too, the whole reason why Barrett has that particular line of dialogue in OG is because in order to get that Barrett date, you have to give the flower to Marlene. So it does increase Barrett's affection rating, but at the same time, it makes him suspicious of Cloud.
I'd be too.
He's like, why are you giving a flower to my 4-year-old daughter? That's why I'm glad that they just completely removed that scene. Because as cute as it is, if you look at it innocently, it's still.
Sorry, I can't.
Especially when Tifa's standing right there. She assumes the flower's for her, and it makes sense to give her the flower. Then you hand it to the 4-year-old. It's like, what the. Yeah, and that's the thing, though. That's what people don't understand. There is a fail route. There's a fail route. That's what they're showing you now. The canon route is the Tifa route. That's why they keep doing stuff that's the Tifa route.
Exactly.
All that stuff of doing stuff of all those options that you do to gain affection with Barrett and Aerith and Yuffie aren't there because that's not the intended route.
Exactly, because Yuffie's 16, age consent and all that, but she's still 16.
Yeah. And here's the thing too.
Buttoned her shorts.
And here's the thing too is that even if you get the Yuffie date, Cloud still does not reciprocate any. He's literally shut off from her during the entire date. She goes and kisses him, and she's like, "Well, geez, say something." He says something. It's even if you force him into these different situations, he's still not reciprocating.
Yeah, and with Aerith's date, he's like, he won't call it a date. He insults her at the beginning of it, and then when they're done with it, she don't even know if he enjoyed himself. But with Tifa, she has to come get him out of his room, and he's like, hey, but he is exactly fighting her. Okay. Hey, where are we going?
and unlike any of the other dates, her date is the only one where Cloud has kind of this positive reception at the end of it, where he's actively asking her, hey, what were you gonna tell me about? He wants her to finish what she was gonna say.
Exactly. And I think I'm going to continue going those routes and just make it even more overt, more. They're going to dig in deep to all those different veins, so to speak. But I think part of it is logically is just that, okay, I know you're a bunch of men in a room, but you were doing so well. Do not mess up my friendship. So it's just like, exactly. At the end of the day,
I just don't want two heroines at war over Cloud Strife. I just don't want to see that. Like, and we know Tifa's gonna win anyway, so what's the point?
Exactly. I mean, so it's just like
at this point, it's abundantly clear. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, but it's abundantly clear that this girl is not over Zack. I mean, they made that clear in 1,000 ways. Nobody's buying this other than Claire. It's okay. So
exactly, and it's just like, and that's ultimately what it is. It's just, it's not that people are worried about the date itself. They're worried about the repercussions of the date itself. Mm-hmm. Because it's
exactly, Cloud is going to do nothing to damage his relationship with Tifa.
He's not going to flirt with Yuffie because she is too much 16. Like a kid sister. Like even if the 16 thing, especially in 2023, 2024, it ain't happening. But even if you consider age of consent and all that, right? She's still his kid sister at the end of it. Like they're all a found family. She is the kid sister that everybody tolerates. But the minute somebody nicks her, like steps on her shoe, they come ready. But any other time, that is their kid sister. Mm-hmm. And he's also very much kid brother that acts like he's older than everybody else. Yeah. So it's just, but there's still interesting story routes through those. But it's the repercussions. Yeah. It is what's going to happen after you do this, because there's got to be a reaction to this. So it's just like, even if everything is completely innocuous, it's very hard as a girl seeing that. It's just like, yeah, how much do I trust you?
And I wonder if now there is a way they can do this that I think would be the less messy way to do it. And this is my last comment on it because we got so much more to get to.
Yeah.
The second trailer, a huge change is Tifa actually tells Aerith that she doesn't remember Cloud being in Nibelheim. She actually confides in her. And then, of course, we know Trace 2 Pass, they were confiding in each other through that. They've become really close. Mm-hmm. What I hope that they're going to do with Aerith's arc in here in relation to Cloud is she starts trying to help Tifa figure out what's going on with Cloud. Yeah. So there is a way that you could do this where Aerith kind of goes him onto the gondola. And she still comes that's a ride. Let's go on it. And then this conversation, she does have this moment where she's like, you remind me of Zack, blah, blah, blah. I realize you're not Zack now. And it's kind of her letting go of her feeling, trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of saying
realizing what her emotions are.
Because
it's
I think,
when you realize it's rebound.
A great thing would be if we see her having these, she knows that she has feelings for Cloud, but she values her relationship with Tifa more. And so you see her suppressing her feelings and choosing to put her friendship with Tifa first. Now that would be a great way, because I don't think there's a problem. You can't help how you feel. She can't help that she has feelings.
Exactly, and that's why you really go down to the bra code. You don't mess with their man. You don't mess with their crush. You don't mess with their brother.
Yeah, and so I think there's a way that they could turn this gondola thing, because again, the fact that Zack's big head was in the middle of the screen and she said this line, I feel like was they were giving a signal there. This could be her letting go of the idea of Cloud, finally just like, nah. And then I'm searching for you becomes more of I'm trying to help Tifa figure out what's going on with you. I'm trying to help you find yourself.
So there are ways to do it. It's just I will always be concerned when it's a bunch of men in the room without, sitting with a woman. Okay, listen, woman to woman, your friend does this. How can we make this situation not be messy?
I mean, look, men who are just wedded to this idea that, and I think people may not. Sorry for the people who think this is too woke for me to say, but I'm who I am, and I'm just gonna say it. Mm-hmm. I think part of the problem, even people who aren't necessarily shippers, but just cannot fathom. I mean, like, can't let go of this. You can choose who Cloud loves, or he loves everybody, or whatever nonsense. I think there's a part of some people, and this is just part of, like the idea that Cloud could have these beautiful women all coming at him, but he only wants one, I think for some people it's just unfathomable. And so it's like, how could he not? Aerith is gorgeous, and she's all over him all the time. Jess is all over him. Tifa ain't really all over him, actually.
Nah, she's respecting his bubble. He wants her to disrespect his bubble.
He definitely would love for her to disrespect this bubble. As Cloud's mocap said, he don't mind being her underlay. But she's more concerned about his well-being and just not, because she's the one that knows him, and she's the one that sees more than anybody that she's known from the beginning something is off with him.
Exactly.
But I just think for some people they can't imagine why Cloud could have all these beautiful women throwing themselves at him, but he would only want one woman.
Yeah,
and that is a big problem in this fandom for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like not every man is chasing every skirt just because it's available to him.
Exactly.
And frankly, I think their behavior is a turnoff to Cloud. I think that they kept throwing themselves at. Now I'm talking more OG Earth and what's the name, because she really has it dropped, like her behavior really just stopped after chapter 9, almost
exactly. And what it ultimately boils down to,
Jessie was the real one that was the issue.
Except that type of mindset, what it really boils down to is it reduces these women to being interchangeable. Like you can have.
I just don't like that. I don't like that.
I don't like that mindset either. And it smacks of misogyny, and it's hard. And we're all deconditioning ourselves from these thoughts that we've internalized, even as women, even as feminist women as we are all like equality and anybody can do anything within reason, obviously. It's still very much we're still casting off. And that's part of why the fan base gets so triggered by the idea of a date, which is implied as romantic, being interchangeable. Because it's treating... And I think they did put in a step in the right direction by enabling, like, you can go off with Nanaki. You can go off and probably play the friggin' laser roller coaster with Yuffie, or you can do something with Barrett. Something that is just branching it out. It's like, it's not turning these women as interchangeable and making it a date. It's, you're spending time with your friends. Have fun. And on paper, that is the ideal. However, given
the history of this fandom in particular, it was never going to be, and that's what I was trying to get at before. It just, at the end of the day, there was no perfect option. They
exactly.
Let go of this entirely and just focus on Tifa. That would have pissed off a whole lot of people. Or they would have went, or they just had to go with like OG. But I think they tried to just go as neutral as possible. Just have everybody be able to get on the gondola with Cloud.
Exactly.
Give them unique scenes. Just water it down as much as possible.
Exactly.
That's all I can say about it.
And that's what it boils down to at the end of the day, because the story bit, like, I have full expectation that we're going to have another rhythm game moment on the stage, which I'm sorry for whoever joins me when I stream that. I am rubbish with rhythm games. But we're going to have another rhythm game where we have the performance, because we have Andrea. Which makes me so freaking happy.
Not me. Not this Andrea.
The other one. The male one.
And by the way, for Cloudy, seeing him at Gold Saucer, like, this felt like a bat signal for us. I really, we don't know what's gonna happen, but we saw that scene in chapter 14 when he told Tifa, "I want to see you on the stage one day," and then we saw him in this trailer. And we went crazy, like, okay,
we're just like, totally so.
Like, if you know anything about the rumors that have been going around for, God, how many years has it been now? Like, I like, it was so funny. This trailer dropped while I was at work. It was on my lunch break. And I slammed my hand down on the table, like, in the most dramatic fashion as I was watching. I wasn't even thinking. I was just like, oh my God, there he is. And my coworkers look at me like, you okay, dude? And I'm like, yeah, good. Like, I slammed my hand down on the table. It's like everybody like jumped, and I'm like, I'm good over here.
That's so
exactly.
Funny. By the way, you see, I was going to say real quick, you see Yuffie dressed up here. You see Aerith and Tifa behind them. They're not dressed up. Yeah, I'm still not sure what's going to happen with this part.
I don't know either, because if they have Yuffie being the one playing Princess Rosa, Again, she's 16, and this is 2023, going to 2024. Tread lightly.
Yeah,
Tread lightly.
I don't know, but also Nojima put out just randomly out of nowhere put out a tweet about a song called Princess Tifa.
Exactly.
Pretty much like a week or two before this dropped. I don't know, a week or two or whatever.
Exactly.
But anyway,
but yeah, like if they make her Princess Rosa, tread lightly.
Yeah, I'm burned out on Gold Saucer talk, so let's just keep going.
No, you're fine.
This is Dio, who owns Gold Saucer or whatever. He's a.
Please don't let him be in a Speedo.
Well, and so far, I don't know. So you see the different games. Okay, the last thing, pretty much the last thing, I want to talk about is. So I mentioned earlier that you have Clean Zack and you have Dirty Zack. Now, this is the first time we actually see Zack interact with somebody who is supposedly alive. I mean, we know that Kyrie's alive. Yeah. So
Kyrie.
After my friend.
Kyrie, what the hell I call it? Kyrie.
You said Kyrie. This is not the stream for that one.
Kyrie,
not yet.
No, yeah.
Just for a bit.
Because you see him grab her hand and stuff like that. So obviously that had everybody flipping out. Oh my God, he's alive, blah, blah. I'm still not buying it, but that's just me. Yeah. And then the last thing is you see this dude in a hooded robe who people are saying it could be Evan, though. I mean, he looks way too old to be Evan in my opinion, but I don't know. They also said, hey, Rydia. Also
Hi,
said
Rydia.
that it could be Glenn. Though again, I don't know. Glenn seems more believable to me.
Yeah, Glenn is more believable given his hair color.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know,
and I have questions because they're going to be tying in Ever Crisis into here too. Mm-hmm. So it's possible. I doubt Roche grew something out. No, he gonna keep his fabulous locks the way they are.
Yeah, and I lied. This isn't the last thing because there's one more big thing that's in here. Monk, did you have anything to say about the Zack stuff or this? Nope. Okay. Just chime in when you want to. The last thing is Tifa is looking at a weapon who they say is a new weapon. It is not one from what I've read in the interviews. This is a brand new weapon that is not in OG.
Tutelary creatures, set only to appear when the planet is in grave danger.
Yeah.
And again, if they change fate, I forgot Vincent. My God.
Yeah, yes, we are not going to forget about my husband.
Yeah, good Lord. How did I forget that?
Disturb my slumber.
And who predicted Mercer? Like, I remember seeing a bunch of people be like, the voice actor Mercer, I forgot his first name.
Oh, yeah, but Matt Mercer.
Matt Mercer. Like, people predicted that, and I'm like, thank you. I'm just happy they gave him a voice that was worthy of Vincent.
Rydia said they heard Roche is a theory. I don't know why Roche would be hiding himself, though. Unless he's like free. Well, you know what? I suppose it's possible. If he's going through cell degradation, maybe he's looking. That would explain why he's looking older and stuff like that.
I don't know. I don't think.
I mean, that's in a matter of days. I don't know. It just seems a little far-fetched, but it could be.
Fight me. That is my husband. We are monogamous, or at least he's.
I just love how Cloud like had the duck because at the top of that coffin went flying. He's like, whoa, all right. And the last two things I'll say, if you have more to say about Vincent, all they've done is they haven't even shown us his face. They just show him.
No, but I think they gave him. I think his greaves are now further up his leg as far as the costume change. Which I can get behind that. It's just more clothes to get out of the way, but okay.
Yeah, and them is Sheikah said. Them is I don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to say
Sheikah.
Okay, them is Sheikah. Okay, Team Matcha Green Tea. So, oh my God, Nomura said he couldn't think of names for Glenn, Matt, and Lucia. So he had a green matcha tea in his hand. He was like, okay, Glenn, Matt, Lucia, which apparently is tea or something in Japanese. Yeah, that's literally how I came up with their name.
Yeah, it was just looking at his tea.
I was like, all right.
I just think that's adorable. That is just so freaking adorable.
Yeah. So Vincent and Sid will not be playable. They will come in and out of the party like Red did, where he was a NPC, but he was fighting with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, they will not be playable in part 2.
Yeah, but my question becomes: are they going to go full Red 13 route or full Nanaki route, where they're there the whole time, Or are we going to go the random Ariana Highwood just showing up, dropping out of the freaking heaven?
I think it'll be both. I mean, in my opinion, I think it'll be both.
Okay, because I'm headcanon.
I think Vincent. Well, I think Vincent is going to like. I would not be surprised if they have this moment with Vincent. He finds out that Sephiroth's alive and he goes running off.
Yeah,
that would not surprise me. Or whatever he, because that's what gets him to go with them in the first place. He finds out that Sephiroth's alive and blah blah.
Yeah,
or it's what Sephiroth's up to. So I would not be surprised if he just runs off and then they see him later.
Yeah, or he has a shame spiral when one of his demons pops out.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, maybe he goes nuts one day and he goes flying off or whatever. And then also Sid. I have less opinion about, but I think he'll be more in the party than Vincent. Vincent's a loner. He's been, I mean, you want to talk about loner? He's been sitting in a coffin for 30 years.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I mean, it looks like he can do some crap around the house, but it looks like now I'm going to stay in here. He's full agoraphobe.
Yeah, so.
It's upon us. The
now,
reunion.
This whole last
when
part.
Worlds merge. I'm waiting, Cloud.
Now, at first I thought surely they are not about to do this crap again, right? But what's actually happening is they explain that they're going to do a summary. They're going to do a summarized version of what happens in Remake inside of Rebirth. So that's what you're seeing at the end. That's why it looks exactly like what happens in Chapter 18.
Exactly, because you're supposed to be able to play the next installment as a standalone if you so chose.
Yeah, so, which they mentioned in the interviews, and I just want to say. There were people that were saying that Remake and Crisis Core Reunion are not canon because Nomura said that you don't have to play them in order to play Rebirth. That's nonsense. No game developer is 5 months before game is about to come out is going to say, no, we demand you play these other two games before you pre-order or play our new game.
Nah, they protect their pocket.
Yeah, nobody's going to say that. So that's why they're saying.
And also, why would they waste their time?
He said, I recommend you play it, but you don't have to.
Yeah, I recommend wink.
I recommend you play it, but waste their time. You don't have to play it.
Like, why are they going to spend all that time and money and falling asleep on the floor for you to not play the game? So they recommend wink. What they're saying is you better fucking play. Excuse me. You better freaking play it. I tried. I made it this far. I'm sorry.
Lord Jesus.
Bleep me.
All right. But yeah, so that's all they're saying. It's like, yeah, you don't have to play it. I mean, I've never seen a game developer in my life say, no, we refuse you, we will not take your money if you want to play this game.
Yeah, no, they don't take your money.
And I'm just going to say there's, in these next 5 months, pay attention to the people who want everything to be player optional. Pay attention to the people who want to keep claiming. Now, I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to name any particular ships. I'm just going to say there's generally one side of the LTD war who wants everything, who now is leaning hard as hell into, it's going to be all players' choice. Oh, you get to choose who Cloud loves. You get to. I even saw one person say, "Oh, you get to choose which one dies and which one has the luxury of being with him." I was like, okay, I love Cloud, but he ain't that special that he can get to choose whether I live or die. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Nah.
He ain't that special. But
nobody is gonna be that.
And there's only one side who would love for Crisis Core Reunion and apparently now Remake, where they claim Cloud confessed his love for Aerith. Now they don't even want that to be canon. Yeah. So and I'll tell you why, my personal theory. Because despite the fact of whatever they say about that resolution saying, they know it is an albatross around their ship's neck, because she literally says in there, you cannot fall in love with me, even if you think you have is not real.
Exactly.
That is, I mean, if Tifa said that to Cloud, listen, I would be shaking in my boots like, why did she just tell this man not to fall in love with her? And even if he thinks he has feelings for her, they're not real. There is no trope you have ever seen in any romance story that ends with your feelings aren't real. Okay,
exactly.
And I don't care what nonsense they put on Twitter. They know that is damning. Okay,
it is extremely
and that is Aerith letting go of the idea that they're, you know what I'm saying, like, so
exactly.
And so now that we're at Rebirth, now it's like, oh, this is not good. Like, if Aerith has let go of this idea, then what is she going to do? But we're expecting her to go for Cloud, right? Like, now this is where they fall in love, or where they consummate their love in some manner or something. Exactly. It's not good. So
it really isn't.
Yeah. And all I'm saying is that, let me put it this way. It's not Cloudies who want Crisis Core Reunion not to be canon. It's not Cloudies who want Remake not to be canon. It's not Cloudies who don't want the compilation to be canon.
Exactly.
That's all I'm going to say.
And all I'm going to say is, like, why would they waste all time, energy, and resources for it to not be canon? They put too much work into that. No. You are buying everything they worked hard on.
Yeah, so...
like, they don't even get paid overtime. You better be buying the game.
All right, so sorry. I'm trying to keep my shipper salt at a minimum, but I just have to say that. All I'm saying is, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe a word that comes out of my mouth. You just observe for yourself. You just observe for yourself which side of the shipping war wants everything to be open now. Suddenly one isn't canon anymore. Now it's, well, we should be able to choose who's canon. There's one side of the shipping war that is moving the goalposts ever slowly. Okay,
exactly.
That's all I'm gonna say. Now, so we're finally done with that. I'm going to take a quick break. We're just going to take a 3-minute potty break because I've drank so much of this tea. I am dying. We're going to take a 3-minute break and be right back. I'm going to put my starting soon thing on. So, Rhea, if you need to take a quick break, go ahead. Be right back.
I'm comfy.
All right, you let me know when you're ready and we will get started. I put another Twitter thingy out. Nightmare, if you're still watching, I sent you a message on Facebook, by the way. To know if Monk is still here. I'm sure she'll come back at some point, hopefully. Oh, you're fine. No problem. I gotta remind myself to if I didn't already. To reorder that. All right, ladies and gents. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We're back. We're back. We're back. Okay, so. All right, so what we're going to do, I had a lot more I wanted to go through, but we ended up talking way longer than, as usual, which is fine. We had a great discussion. Way longer than I intended. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go over Calm Flashback, the Road to Junon, gameplay stuff that I want to bring up, and we'll see how we first meet Yuffie, and we'll end on the dolphin because the dolphin's adorable. So that's
well, for you, maybe
what we'll talk about.
I am on a one-woman campaign against all dogs.
Most ridiculous thing. Oh, okay. Let's start here. So this is somebody else. Now I'm really.
Cover girls. New, clean, fresh, yummy.
I am just going to do little snippets here because this is actually somebody else's video. It's not like just raw video. This is somebody else's like stream thing. This is Game Riot. So I don't want to, like put that, what I'm saying? This is their original stuff. So they do have portions where it's just the gameplay. So that's what I'm going to kind of just skim through a little bit, but like I said, I really don't want to step on their toes. Like this is the video that they made. I don't want to put the same, you get what I'm saying.
No,
okay,
totally.
So I'm just gonna take the minimum possible. But Game Riot, giving you credit. Please go watch this video. It is really good. They were able to play it early, and so what they do is give their commentary throughout it, and they also give big snippets of just no commentary gameplay as well, so which is real good. So if you were watching like all the news from TGS this week, one of the big things that happened is people got to play 2 demos. They got to play the demo of the Calm Flashback and what I'm calling the Road to Junon, because they're right outside of Junon, and they're basically they have a conversation where they're like, yeah, we need to go to Junon. So I mean, that's the conversation. So first thing is you can really see Zach's influence, like Calm Flashback Cloud, total Zach. It was really amazing to watch.
Yeah.
And you can see like his behavior is so Zack, and the way Tifa responds to him is super Zack. But what's really cool, if you're, again, spoiler.
We spoiler heavy in this.
Spoiler heavy, this entire thing. If you know the actual events, Charles said, I see Cloud and Eric's relationship like Zack and Cisne. Yeah, because I think Cisne has feelings for Zack, but it's one-sided. So yeah, I think that's a good comparison.
But then again, we all do. Have you seen him?
Exactly. Exactly.
I climbed that man like a tree.
Yeah, well, he practically is the size of one. So.
I know, right?
I love it. Square Enix is now making us the player empathize with Tifa's uneasiness about the Khan flashback. It's hard to show it without CC or body language. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's what's great about it. You see how starkly different he is from the real Cloud. If you know Crisis Core Reunion. He's acting just like Zack. Exactly. So, well, and the reason is because in Cloud's mind, to be clear, what's actually occurring in this is she is talking to Zack. You see Cloud Cloud is the infantryman that you see trailing them throughout these portions.
Yeah, Tifa's shadow right there.
Yeah, he's hiding himself. So Cloud, Genova has basically put a Cloud skin over Zack's body, put his voice on it. And so we're seeing Cloud have these interactions with Tifa when in reality, in the actual events, it was Zack she was talking to this entire time.
Exactly.
So what happens is they climb up the mountain and go and they're going to the reactor to investigate and whatever else. I mean, they're there on soldier duty. And calm flashback is when Cloud tells the rest of the team what occurred during Nibelheim, because they're curious, because that was the last time Sephiroth was seen alive, and now they've just fought Sephiroth and people are confused as what's going on. He's supposed to be dead. So that's what this is about. Now, so you get to see the gameplay, and again, I'm just going to keep the sound off because I just don't want to step on their toes and stuff like that, but you get to see the gameplay. What is that monster called? The Materia Hunter? Is that what it's, or Materia? Something like that.
I think so. I don't really remember. I just always said that that's Cloud's deformed daddy, because I'm a terrible human being wanting psychological trauma.
Yes, okay. So basically we go through some of the events of what they did when they were climbing Mount Nibelheim. So the reason Tifa's there is because she's their mountain guide. Now, this should have been the first clue in Cloud's mind that something was up, because why does he need a mountain guide? He is always, like, you even see in Trace the Two Bad stuff, he knows these mountains inside and out. They don't need a mountain guide.
He played there as a little kid.
Like, but in the reality of what's going on, but, you know, and honestly, it's kind of a plot hole to me even now, because even though Tifa doesn't know he's there, Sephiroth and Zack knows that he's from Nibelheim. Why didn't you just ask him? Why bring this girl along?
Why spend the money?
So you know, but this is just Materia Keeper. Thank you. I was like, Materia Hunter. I was like, that's Yuffie. It's not Materia Hunter. I don't know why. Thank you, Neighbor. Oh God, I'm terrible with names. I couldn't think of that doctor's name. I couldn't think of the monster's name. Yes, Materia Keeper. So basically, it reminds me of like that. Well, if you play God of War, there's this like little monster that if you get close to the, what is it, your something tree, whatever, it attacks because it's there to protect the tree. That's kind of how I felt about it. It's like it's there to protect the, you know. But anyway, and yeah, so that's kind of a plot hole to me, but you know,
it's an easy hole to plug when you think, oh, freaking corporate is the one that hired her. Or something like that,
you know.
But
yeah, we'll see how they.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Because Cloud, he doesn't need a guide. He's been playing around. He keeps chasing after Tifa's cat and bringing it to her.
Yeah. So that's the events that are going on. But it's really cool. So you fight with Sephiroth, but you also fight as Sephiroth, as I mentioned. I don't know how many times, but in particular, when you're fighting the Materia Keeper, you do take control of Sephiroth at some point. And it's just really cool. Like I said, if you actually know the events of Nibelheim, it's very interesting to see how the real Cloud is behaving and what he's doing this entire time.
Shadow.
Oh yeah, I mean sometimes it's scary because he has that helmet on with the red laser eyes.
Exactly, and they're in dark corridors. I'm sorry.
Yes, it scared me. There was one where he's right behind Zack. I'm like, ooh, what you doing? Yeah, Clyde keeps chasing after Tifa's cat, and we're gonna leave it at that.
So saith we.
It just he trades one cat for the other, you know.
Exactly. All we know is that Clyde will forever chase after her cat, as he should.
I made that joke one time on Twitter, and people were clutching their pearls. I was like, okay.
Yeah, well, that's because. Nah, I'm gonna stop. That's me.
Yeah, you know. Well, all I'm saying is they just mad it's only Tifa's cat that he's
exactly.
Put it like that. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's happening here. And they have cool little Easter eggs in here. Like at one point, Zack says, "I'm excited." Well, Zack. Now I'm calling him Zack.
Zack Cloud.
The Cloud says, "I'm excited," and Sephiroth calls him a puppy. Everybody knows that Zack is called Puppy.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, the adult in me that enjoys spicy content saw Puppy, and all I'm thinking is, yes, sir.
Well, Zack was yeah, okay. I don't know what
I'm sorry. I'm going to side with the one. That was purely bait for them. That was great. They knew what they were doing with the queer baiting.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's and by the way, Rhea is bisexual, so
I am happily,
because I don't know what's kosher to say and what's not to say. So I'm just letting you know.
Tagline. I am the
that is her. That is her. No, I'm just saying. You said queer baiting. I don't know anything anymore. So I'm just letting you know. I just don't want anybody to take offense. Like Don't
worry. However, I will probably post a discussion myself on the topic of queer baiting in the future. But I will definitely be one of the people screaming it from the rooftops every time I play Kingdom Hearts.
I feel straight baited every time they bring Cloud on the screen because he is looking fine. I mean, not here. Now he's 16 here. I mean, for whatever he is, 16 here. I'm talking about in the other, like the juvenile stuff. I'm like, damn, he is attractive. My goodness.
I was just like, I don't even go for blondes, but
yes. The only time Sephiroth does anything for me, I mean, no, he does. He does for me sometimes. But mostly when he has his shirt off, then I'm like,
I know. Then it's just like, where you been hiding that, Daddy?
But so yeah, that's just really cool to see that. One thing I want to say, and I'm sorry, I can't stand the UI. I absolutely cannot stand the UI. It's making my eyes bleed. I just like,
I'm sorry. I know, my dearest. I'm okay with it because I love Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah,
I will eventually play Forbidden West. It's on my list, but I'm an adulty doing adulty things.
If it was Horizon, it would be fine, but it just doesn't go with FF7 at all for me. It's just killing me. Okay, so in the English, it's called the Materia Guardian. In the Japanese, it's called the Materia Keeper. So,
yep.
But yes, this is this fight where you actually get to fight as Sephiroth as well.
Yeah.
At some point, it changes to Sephiroth. Look how baby he is.
He's so cute.
Ah, crap. He's a sweetheart.
He's a little Pomeranian.
Look at him!
I mean, I understand why the fan artists always, when they turn him into a puppy, Pomeranian is perfect for him. He is a Pomeranian.
Oh, sweet boy. Okay, so do you have anything else to say about this part before we move on?
I do. And it's kind of playing into the whole Cloud being Tifa's shadow. So you do, it's not just shipping lenses or what have you. There's a reason why he is in just about every frame when you really think about it, or every scene. He is observing everything that's happening. So it definitely plays into the theory on whether or not Cloud has Zack's memories, or he's just like putting himself in Zack's place. So it's very interesting, and also they kind of sealed up and tossed into the ocean the idea of Zifa and how, she is just attracted to any soldier. No, she's not. It's very antagonistic, and it's almost jarring to see Cloud's face
and behaving like that to
have
Tifa.
that conversation. It's jarring. It's almost like, what's going on here? It's supposed to be that way, and I feel like it's very interesting because you do have this very cute puppy, and just like, who is this? Who is you? You ain't Cloud. Who you be? What's going on here?
Yeah, it really shows the stark. It really shows the starkness. Because Cloud is so deferential to Tifa. He's so thoughtful and caring.
And always has been. So, and I think that was the intent here in order to have that dialogue shown. To remind you that this is not Cloud. It's so that we have the knowledge that this isn't our baby boy. This is somebody else wearing Cloud's face. And I feel as if
that's one way to put it.
Because, and I think they're really digging deep into that idea, because before we had the benefit of voices and expressions and that adorable face, it was very much, whenever Era says, oh, I see Zack in you, it's like, where? But now they're really hammering in the fact that he is mirroring Persona, even post-traumatic everything that happened, he's still mirroring Zack's actions.
Some of Zack's actions, and that's why the devs keep saying, Nojima said it, Toriyama said it, that in the Ultimania said that he is more of his true self, and he implies it as well in the Ever Crisis story.
Exactly,
is that he he is more of his true self around Tifa. And that makes sense.
Exactly.
Of course he is.
And I think that's why we have this jarring, out of character portrayal. And I feel as if the hope is that no one glosses over this. I mean, yes, we have the trailer, and we are having this discussion with regards to this stark difference in personality and expression and just amazing animation as far as the Cloud we know versus imposter here. The hope is that fandom at large doesn't gloss over this difference in personality, because they're going above and beyond to showcase differences in personality. They are individualizing each of these characters, and it's just beautifully written.
Absolutely. And hey, Meg the Megabyte, what's up, girl?
Hi, honey.
So it's seeing that whole thing unfold is going to be fascinating. Also, part of what you see in the TGS live stream of this, you actually we have confirmation that he does still play Tifa's piano in the com flashback. You also are able to go back and play Tifa's piano when you get back to Nibelheim, because they actually showed the pauldrons in one part. Then you see the Soldier Cloud outfit. Yeah, and they made a mini game out of the piano playing as well, where you can interchange the characters. So like they showed Eric's theme being played. It wasn't Cloud playing it like he's in the game playing Eric's theme. It is a mini game where you can it's basically a character scan. You could choose whatever character. I mean, we don't know if it's whatever character. I mean, for obvious reasons, Barrett might be a little bit of an issue.
Yeah,
Red 13 might be a little bit
like unless he's playing chopsticks or something, I don't think all the characters will be available. There'd probably be a selection of characters that probably would be able to. Like, maybe you can only switch between Cloud, Tifa, and Vincent, or you.
Well, Cloud, Tifa, Vincent, Yuffie, Sid. Those are certainly the
piano.
Well, yeah, but the point is the character scan.
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It's not him doing it. It's just it's an avatar essentially.
Exactly. But I'm still struggling.
But if they do,
sorry.
If they do have Barrett, I think they'll use his Corel skin. Yeah. Because he has both of his arms at that point.
Yeah, he has.
So it'd be flashback stuff.
Yeah, he's got both of his arms then.
Yeah. And then Nanaki, they could just throw in for pure humor. I mean, honestly,
they don't have
to show his fingers. All they got to do is show him. That's all they got to do.
I mean, they're probably gonna watch Aristocats, right? And then they're probably gonna be like, okay, we're just gonna animate over these scenes here, and then we get Nanaki playing the piano. Everybody. Don't demonetize Disney. Leave us alone.
So, there's no monetization. I ain't even got enough followers for that. Don't worry about it.
I think you might.
Well, one day, one sweet day, like boys and men. So, but yeah, I just wanted to clear that up because it was confusing. Especially with the stream with the translation, it was very confusing to follow. But yes, it isn't Cloud that was playing Aerith's theme. It is just an avatar, and just the player chooses whatever, and it's just part of a mini game. It's hard to tell where that piano is. My personal speculation is that it's somewhere in Gold Saucer. And speaking of, now we have confirmation that there's some sort of side quest where you're collecting piano scrolls. Now they had the piano poster in Tifa's flat in 7th Heaven. In Sector 7. Mm-hmm. Hey, monkey back. Okay, I saw you moving for a minute there. Okay. And then, of course, everybody knows that Tifa has the piano in her room. So, and then, like I said, you're collecting these piano scrolls.
Probably time.
There's piano posters at every Chocobo stop, and everybody knows that the whole Chocobo thing is Cloud. And then you have the piano,
It's intentional.
And you have Andrea saying he wants to see her perform on stage one day. Like, we don't have any confirmation of this. Yep. It seems like a lot of coincidences. And the thing is, so there's supposed to be another side quest type deal where Aerith is gathering flowers or whatever from each location.
Yeah, so
everybody knows why. Well, hold on. Everybody knows why Aerith, what her association is with flowers. They have not explained Tifa's association with piano. Mm-hmm. I just don't see how we don't get a performance from Tifa at some point in this.
Exactly.
And especially one more thing is Ever Crisis shows that Cloud is listening to Tifa hum. So now we have confirmation she has a beautiful voice as well. Mm-hmm. Seems like a lot of coincidences for us.
Exactly. And also remember that we have the motion caption actress mentioning on her Twitter feed that she is doing singing motions, and then we have the English voice actress on her Twitter feed saying that she's taking singing lessons. Mm-hmm. The pieces are falling into place.
And once again, every Cloudy knows that Andrea said that thing to her in that side quest, saying after he challenged her, basically. So first he challenges Cloud on stage, then he challenges her with the whatever you call these things, because I've never done them before. So
those are no way I can do
pull-ups. Yeah, pull-ups. And then he says, "I'd love to see you on stage one day," or whatever. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then he shows up like an angel in all white at Gold Saucer.
And all of us also remember Jesse taught Tifa how to project and have a presence on stage. So
yes. So, and Jessie was the princess in that play. She was supposed to be the princess in that play.
Exactly. So maybe that's how we get Jessie back.
Coincidences stacked up on top. I don't have any confirmation, but I would not be shocked if Tifa by canon is the princess. And let's not forget, Nojima out of nowhere just randomly posted about a song. He didn't even just post about it. He was like, "Oh, it was cool. There's a song named Princess Tifa." He went into detail. I remember sitting in my friend's car in 1980 or whatever when this song came out. Mm-hmm. I remember listening to the song every day or whatever. And, exactly. He was going into detail about his knowledge of this song. And he just posted us out of nowhere.
He wanted us to get curious.
Look, do you understand how Cloud is going to be like? We're going to be insufferable if she turns out to be the princess's canon. We're going to be tying all this together. Oh, we told you.
Yeah, I know. I said, I was starting a betting pool just so that I could say I told you so to these people. Be like,
I'll tell you what. I'm praying somebody's dumb enough to bet me on some of this stuff. I really need somebody to. I've yet to find anybody to bet me on who Cloud's going to end up with at the end of this game. You know why? Because they don't actually believe he's
no, and even if they did, they don't have the money.
I said, I bet you a penny, $1, $10. I bet you any amount. It could be a penny. I just want you to bet me. That's all I want. Please bet me that he's going to end up with Aerith at the end of this game. Okay?
Exactly.
Please.
I know, but anyhow.
But hey, I prefer it to be some real money because
I know.
Mama trying to go to Japan next year.
I know.
So,
we got plans. My itinerary.
So if you want to bet me some real cash, I'm fine with that too. Any amount. You can bet me a penny or $1 million. I will take that bet.
Exactly. Our itinerary is getting pretty like.
Lord, yeah. Anyway, all right. Sorry, we're going on a tangent. So,
but anyhow, actually, on the topic of the scrolls and everything, and the different side missions, I do think that the purpose of those is to essentially garner the points for the synergy attacks, or as I like to call them, the yeet attacks. Just yeet.
They start yeeting Tifa all over the battlefield.
That's what all the attacks are. Just yeet. Barrett lifts Nanaki. Yeet. Lifts Yuffie.
All right. Reddy's gonna bet me 1 penny. All right.
Hang on. We got one.
Wait. You betting Team Tifa? Obviously you must be betting Team Aerith if you're betting me. So okay. All right. I'm gonna hold you to that. Reddy. I want my penny. I want my penny.
You got 2 pennies.
Hey, count that penny towards Japan. Okay. Exactly. That's one less cent we don't have to worry about.
Exactly.
All right. So. Now, yeah, so yeah, I'm very excited to see where they go with that. Now let's see the beautiful tip. So the next part in this is we get to Junon. Well, not Junon, it's outside of Junon.
No, yeah, this is outside Junon. Yeah.
And I've got the sound off. Ah, crap. So this bird, and Nanaki's gonna explain it in a second. This is the bird from Fort Condor, right? Yeah, that's why he goes into the story.
He just swooped up and ate one of the Sephiroth.
Well, he didn't eat him. He just took him away. I don't know.
Well, what's he taking him for?
Maybe he's okay.
He's gonna be eaten. He bird food. He gonna be guano.
You know what this reminds me of, and I'm sorry if this is a spoiler. I don't know how much of a spoiler this is, because I don't even remember the character's name, but there's some character who, in Attack on Titan, again, spoiler, I really don't know much about it, but I just haven't been in the living room when my brother and my nephew were watching it. There was some character who was fighting, and then he was swooped up by a Titan. It bit his arm and dragged him away. That's what this reminded me of.
Well, it reminded me of Pitch Black. Like the lady goes to rescue Riddick, and all of a sudden there she goes. It's like, well, so much for her plan.
Yeah, so much for that. So yeah, what happens is they're sitting there talking, and then suddenly this huge bird comes out of nowhere, and as you can see,
it was hungry.
God, this is killing me. Okay, takes this dude away. And they're shocked. Barrett cracks me up. He's like, yeah, he's not coming back. Barrett is the worst.
It's like, bye.
Bye.
Just the nonchalance of, well, he did.
No, it wasn't Aaron. I know that. I know what Aaron looks like. Wait. Aaron is the main character, right? No, it wasn't. If it was the main character, it was not Aaron. It was some blonde dude. But yeah, so they see that the robed guys are headed towards Junon.
Just like, and no one's even thinking like.
And so there's the High Wind right there. So the High Wind's at Junon.
Yeah. And there are all the Sephiroth clones being lured by Genova.
One thing I noticed in all this gameplay, Cloud and Tifa are standing so close to each other all the time.
I'm waiting for them to just randomly like touch each other, just like, hey, let's go. Putting the hand on the back of the small of her back. I can talk today, I swear. Or just a random like pat on the booty, because I would. But just like they're always within hands distance. Like that's why I say Sephiroth's gotta I gotta create some distance. Otherwise they're gonna be too busy to notice my machination to rule the world.
So they are just like joint at the hip. It's crazy. And especially like, again, if you're thinking about this from an LTD perspective, these are pretty damning scenes. I mean, it really are.
Exactly.
The amount of times he just turns to talk to her, or everybody will be talking, but then Tifa says something, he jumps in. He does it in a minute here too.
Yeah,
exactly. He is clearly focused on Tifa. Okay.
Yeah, only priority.
So yeah, they start talking. Nanaki starts giving Fort Condor lore. And now it appears that they've moved Fort Condor to its own island. Mm-hmm. So that's a change. That's a change that they made with the world map. It used to be, it did not used to be on its own island. Now it is.
Yeah.
All right, there's fighting, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. So, this is cute. We have to watch him pet the chocobo.
Because it's adorable. Required. It's so cute.
Mono and I, Nightmare like this, Mono and I, you've been talking for a while. Oh, yeah. Mono and I, she made a post with him doing this, and I was like, count the amount of chocobos. How many chocobos do you see? Rhea?
I see 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
One on a ride, 2 pictures, and a cute little baby.
Yeah, so a lot of people put like 2 or 3, and it was like, you're forgetting one. Or if you get 2.
There's 4 of them there. I clearly see them. It's so cute.
This is definitely the Torgal moment of the game. I wonder if Torgal even had something to do with this, honestly. I wonder if they added
probably, because I'm sorry, like I lost time just petting Torgal, okay?
Yes.
I lived on doesthedogdie.com, and I just give me a reason to pet the puppy. Give me a reason. I will pet the puppy. It's gonna bite me, don't care. Pet the puppy.
And so look at it. And what's so cute is if you decide to take a rest on the bench, the chocobo passes out, and then it wakes back up when you get up.
I do have a theory though.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been a NyQuil dream, but I remember it being mentioned that your relationship with that chocobo grows with each location you unlock, right? What if baby chocobo there is growing up and becomes your golden chocobo that gets you everything?
Yeah, it's possible.
It's just a thought. It gives you further incentive to unlock everything. As if, you know, being a completionist isn't enough of a reason to fill the entire map.
Yeah. And then also, you also have these, like, timed battles that you can do as well. So that's what you're saying here.
Yeah, because Pinocchio sent you on them.
And of course, a big thing that people were asking for that you have now is synergy attacks. We're about to see one between Cloud and Aerith right now. But you have these synergy attacks that you can do. Come on. It's coming up at some point. So that's a nice thing. Also, you can, I forgot to mention it when it was actually happening, but you can preset your teams now. So you can preset up to 3 teams. So in here and in the other game footage, they have Cloud, Barret, and Red 13, Cloud, Aerith, and Tifa, Cloud, Aerith, and Red 13. And so if you notice, like, they're changing it without actually having to go into the menu, it's because it's being preset.
Yeah. So it's got strong Final Fantasy 12 feels where you can change your party mid-fight.
Mm-hmm. I love that pose that the Cloud and Aerith do here. But yeah, now one thing that anyone who has been watching all this game footage knows, he gets real handsy with Tifa. I mean, he is all over this girl. And first off, it has always been like this dream of the fandom. I saw multiple people even make renders of this. Max Dude mentioned this years ago. Like, he thinks that a synergy attack they could do is Cloud throwing Tifa, like Tifa jumping off a Cloud sword or whatever. And it came true. I don't know if it was fandom made. You know, I don't know if they saw the fandom saying it and they did it. But either way, it turned out in the game, and it's freaking awesome.
Well, what's funny is, funny little side story about me. I used to go to school for computer animation with a specialized in video game design. One of my classes had us make a storyboard for a game that we loved. I actually drew on the storyboard of Tifa being bolted off the sword, and I'm like, wow.
I think Cloud is just horny, honestly. I don't know. I think we all had this dream.
I know, but it's just like,
this is one move where he could.
We've all thought this at some point of Tifa just like, okay, using a freaking sword as a freaking diving board. Here we go.
And like there was this There's this other synergy attack where he like she's like, at least in the Japanese, she's like, Cloud, he's like, I know, and he grabs her and throws her around in this. I mean, oh my god, okay, I'm trying not to.
I'm not.
Ooh, Lord, okay. But yeah, it like I just love that even in the synergy stuff, you could see the character relationships too.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
Because so far he has not touched anybody else.
He really hasn't. And it's just like, come on, yeet, like everybody else. Mm-hmm. But
Juju
Final Fantasy 15 vibes too. And it's
Juju Be Good said he throws this woman around with finesse. He sure does.
Damn right he does. He does it right.
I hate this UI. I'm sorry. I'm sure it's gonna grow on me.
It's probably not even finalized. Maybe it'll change before it's released formally. Okay, let us all collectively hope for this for Stygia's peace of mind. Let us will the UI.
No, I don't hate it. It's just an adjustment. It's just an adjustment. I like this part
for you.
Yeah, we're gonna pray, but it's just the white. If they had like made a night version of it, you know what I mean? If they had made a night mode,
I'm gonna agree with you there.
I would have been okay.
I'd rather it be dark for my eyes because like this light here hurts, but it's the only way that I look this good.
Okay, so last thing is we're going to see Yuffie, and then we're gonna end on that. Like I said, I will finish the rest of the gameplay on Sunday. Because I don't want to hold people too long. I'm not one of those streamers who like to go 3 and 4 hours, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not me.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, no, that is not me. So, and I'm still kind of recovering from. Well, people don't know I had an asthma attack a couple weeks ago, and I just I'm still kind of and it was like was a sinus infection. It was a lot of ish going on, so. Yeah. My voice is still recovering, so I really can't go that long anyway. I'm already losing my voice. So.
Oh no, you're perfect. I've been holding a nose blow for like the past 5 minutes.
That's why I keep rubbing my nose because like my allergies are still messed up. Yeah. But yeah, so there's okay. This is funny. I like this part because this woman recognizes them. And she sees that they have a bounty on their heads. and Aerith has a hilarious reaction to what her bounty is. So it's a menu background Temple of the Ancient? I have no idea, honestly. It's not a bad question, but I don't know.
It's possible.
Possible. I don't know why they'd be showing it now, though. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just like a... So there's 100,000 gil each on Avalanche. Now, people are taking this to mean that they are all alive. I am not.
I'm not either. However,
just because they don't know where they are doesn't mean they're alive. You know what I mean?
However, to appease one crazy fanatic, we'll definitely see Jessie again on a poster somewhere.
Yeah.
There, she's back in the next installment. Problem solved. That's a way to be petty.
Yeah. I love how Cloud's face is in there, though. It was weird. Depends on who's asking. I think she knows by now. I don't think you have to. And then Aerith is worth $500,000 of a gil.
Come on. Crazy psycho.
She said $500,000. She's like, oh, I might turn myself in for that.
I mean, money's money.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, as long as you help her escape, you can keep turning her in every time and make her kill it. Buy the Costa del Sol house by the time you get there.
And again, this is game rights footage. I just want to give him a shout out. Give that person a shout out one more time. I couldn't find it anywhere else, so. All right, but yeah, this is how we meet Yuffie.
My baby.
I don't know what she's up to while she's on this boat. I don't know where she's trying to go, but.
My baby.
She in trouble. I hope she can swim. That tastes terrible. Era says the same thing. I feel like they're gonna be kind of kindred spirits because she says the same thing. So Dolphin.
Do not randomly go up to dolphins you don't know. They're the sociopaths of the sea.
So this is what you see in the third trailer. This is this little part. You have a fight with Terror of the Deep. Blah, 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 blah. And then let's look at the cute little dolphin thing after they beat him. Here we go. And one thing I will say is they have all the old dialogue and scenes, but they do have I've heard a few lines that are new dialogue. So because I can't imagine I couldn't imagine that they wouldn't add any new dialogue. That didn't make any sense. I just love that Tifa spirit animal is helping Cloud out. I just love that. Oh
my gosh, we need to get ourselves a PR team that works with the dolphins. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, little interaction with the dolphin. All right, so yeah, that's it. So my major takeaways of, again, just what I've went over thus far. I'm really excited about the gameplay.
So
it looks amazing.
Except for the UI that you hate.
Yeah, except for the UI that I'm less than crazy about. But all the additions, the only other thing I would love to see that I'm praying for is that they have material loadouts. Mm-hmm. As far as the events, as I suspected, and as I said multiple times, we are still relatively following OG's story. And as I kind of also suspected, just some crazy ish is going to happen in Forgotten City that's going to, throw a wrench and everything. But I think ultimately we're still going to be on the same path.
Yeah.
Northern Crater's still going to happen. Meteor's still going to be cast. Clyde is still going to need to be saved by Tifa, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
So yeah. And one last thing is they have confirmed that there's a Zack chapter. Now, I don't know what that means, that everything with Zack is relegated to this chapter, but they have said there's specifically a Zack chapter in which I would imagine he's playable. I think they even confirmed he's playable. So that's another major development. Yeah. So yeah, overall excited. My only down takes just, as somebody who's just tired of this faux LTD narrative nonsense, I am annoyed with the Ghost Sauce thing, but whatever. If Aaron wants to ramble on about Zack for 10 minutes on his gondola letter, if Yuffie wants to try flirting with Cloud and he's like rejecting her because for obvious reasons, whatever.
Yeah,
Barrett and him want to have him and Barrett have hilarious banter, so
they do. They do.
I don't know if they would go. I don't know if they're gonna go humorous with Nanaki. I feel like they would actually have a moment, like not a romantic one, but like a kind of a brotherly heart-to-heart moment. I feel like that might be what happens on that one. Kate Sith. I don't know if Kate Sith is part of this. I never even thought about it. Kate Sith at that point, so I don't know what they talk about. Maybe he'll be foreshadowing stuff about.
No, I don't think he will be available because he can't backstab you if he's with you.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. So he won't be a part of it probably.
Yeah. I'm kind of there with you. I'm ready for it to be over, and also I just want my girlfriendship to be safe.
Yeah, I think they're gonna try to do it as tastefully as possible, and give people, and I'm telling you, mark my words. Claire's have been asking for this date, and I think when they actually see what they talk about in 4K with voices and expressions and all that, they are going to regret asking for that date in 4K. Because I'm telling you, it is not the rosy picture as you mentioned before. It is not the rosy picture that they remember. Exactly. And then, of course, with Cloud and Tifa, it's going to be super high tension, and Tifa trying to confess her feelings, but loses her nerve at the last minute.
Maybe they'll tease us with a little bit more because they like teasing people.
I could even see an almost kiss there. I kind of want an almost kiss at the water tower.
I want an almost kiss also, but that's the romantic in me. However, I don't think they're going to go be Melly, young lady. I don't think they're going to go much beyond that, especially considering that they're going to keep the climax of their relationship. So we're going to have some shoujo-esque sense where something's going to interrupt something.
But they also have to up the ante. I mean, they're already rolling around on the ground with each other in remake. And we already got a hug, so they've got to go to the next level. And almost kiss seems like the most logical to me.
And they're probably going to just like they're going to tease us.
Like my guesses are, and look what the Phantom's guesses are. I had the gold saucer on the stage, the gondola ride, or the water tower. I also said that I actually was leaning towards they would actually kiss in Northern Crater, almost like she would be desperate, like, you know, she would just blurt out "I love you" or something, "Don't leave me," and then Cloud would go over and kiss her, and he's like, "I think this is what the real Cloud would do," or something like that. It's possible, like you know. But yeah, since we probably aren't getting the Northern Crater, that dream is gone, at least for Rebirth. So
yeah.
But those are the three places if they're gonna have an almost kiss, which I'm definitely leaning towards.
Yeah.
Those are the places to be. But anyway, you go ahead and say your last words, and then or like last comments, and then I'll read a couple things in the chat, and then we'll call it a night.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that I was going to say with regards to the closing of this or of the next installment, I really don't think it's going to make the third installment loaded, because when you really think about it, the third disc of Final Fantasy VII OG wasn't a lot, so it's not going to heavily skew the story, I don't think, because they mentioned all the same story beats are going to be hit, so it just means that instead of Cloud mentally shattering and the next installment is going to be the one after, we're going to be the one shattering.
Well, yeah, and I'm not even, I just don't know what to make of it yet, because I'm still wrapping my head around it. And it's just annoying, because we've waited 4 years, and then 4 years, you give us 2 discs, and this is just my personal note. 4 years, 2 discs. You have 40 hours of the story.
Yep.
We only get to Forgotten Capital. Mm-hmm. But we have up to 60 hours of side quests and stuff. It just...
keeping us busy until the next installment. I just hope that they don't make us for the next game. I don't want to wait until 2027.
Yeah, and it's just like
30-year anniversary.
And it's just like all the, at least, of course, we're gonna get a ton more, just before the shippers,
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're gonna get a ton more cloudy stuff. I mean, I couldn't have even dreamt up half of what Nojima and them put in Remake alone.
Right.
So we're gonna get a whole lot of good stuff out of Rebirth. But at the same time, as an OG player and as an OG fan, all the really big cloudy stuff happens after disc one.
Yeah, so, a lot of things do. Yeah, you're not wrong.
So it's just annoying that we're gonna have night. It's 2023, 2024. At the latest, I think we'll get it in 2027. But it's just we really were looking forward to seeing Northern Crater, because it's a big turning point and twist.
Exactly.
In the story, and then and we would have got a lot of juicy cloudy moments out of that too. So, and
I think part of it is also I think they want to give us more time with the party together, and I get that on paper, but it's just like, I'm spending how much money on each game? You needs to speed it up.
and it's just like. And my main fear is almost like I almost feel like this might feel like they're dragging it a bit. I understood why they were padding out Midgar.
Yeah.
But just to pad out this one, just so they can have a climactic end at Forgotten City where she may or may not live, Zack may or may, I just wish that wouldn't be the focal point of the ending of
exactly.
The game. It is what it is,
I think they're just
and what I don't want, what I don't want is the Disc 2 stuff to be rushed too, because it's not just going to be Disc 2 stuff. They have all these other characters. We have to get conclusions to Roche unless we get into this game.
Yeah.
Because Roche may very well die in this game. I mean, that's
we're gonna watch him degrade. Right now, the soldier degradation is one of the red herrings that they're using throughout the game. At least that's my working theory so far.
Yeah.
Yes, I also theory craft. But my working theory as of right now is the reason why they keep mentioning the cellular degradation is a red herring. As like, oh, that must be what's wrong with you. You're having a cellular degradation, not realizing full, oh, this is what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing.
So yeah, and then of course the trio out of Walmart, we have the Don Cornelius. Like, they got a lot of stuff they gotta, and we may very well get Sonon again. Mm-hmm. Chadley's gonna go evil at some point, if you ask me. We gotta have.
I don't trust that Pinocchio as far as I can trust him.
Yeah, we got it. And Chadley's back, by the way, but we'll get to that on Sunday. You gotta have a conclusion to the Avalanche stuff because, in my opinion, if they're not all dead now, they'll all be dead by the end of this.
Exactly.
But regardless of what happens, you got to have a conclusion to that. We're going to see Marl again. This is all these new characters that they've added and stuff. So, and I don't see all of them concluding in Rebirth. So then, now maybe Avalanche will conclude in Rebirth, and that'd be 3 characters out of the way. But it just still and then we're not getting to Wu-Tai until the third part.
Yeah,
I'm just stressed that
the pacing
for the sake of making a big deal out of Eric's death. You know what I mean? Which is a big deal. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But it's just like, for the sake of making that the ending point, we may feel rushed in part 3. That's my only concern.
Yeah, that is a valid concern, and that is
for God's sakes, that they got to make this one 2 discs, and we got a whole disc and a quarter basically to go.
Exactly.
I'm just like,
yeah. So
so what is the next game going to be? 3 or 4 discs?
Exactly. So it's just like, ultimately, when you really think about it, I think part of dragging this out is for the fandom as a whole, to experience them all together, to experience the found family. And then after the fact, it's got to be doom and gloom until we save the world. And also, I think part of it also with the spacing of the characters, it was mentioned earlier in the chat, like having 9 people on the screen at all times, that your machine is not going to enjoy itself.
Yeah.
So, there are some limitations.
I'm like, as far as my excitement from 1 to 10 about the game, it's a solid 9. It's just these little hang-ups I'm having, because like I said, it really threw me for a loop that we're not making it to, we're likely, if you take the interviews at face value, which I am not one of those people who accuse the devs of lying and all that other stuff. I think that's nonsense. I do think they double speak sometimes, and
they do double speak, and translation is not our friend.
Yeah, translation is not our friend. Like, there was a huge misunderstanding with something that Katase said over the last couple of days, where people were freaking out, thinking that Katase said based on public opinion, we may change up major parts of part 3. Turns out he was laughing and joking around when he was basically just saying we may fill up plot holes and stuff like that based on fan reaction. We'll see what fans have to say.
Exactly.
And it was in the context of people saying, what about people who think they should wait until part 3 to play the game? And of course, once again, no developer is going to tell people, oh, hey, don't buy this game, wait until the 3rd one.
Exactly. Because we already have people saying that. Certain people.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So he's just saying, hey, look, part of what's going to be affecting part 3 is your reaction to part 2. So we need you to play it, and we need to see what you think.
Exactly, because they were developing it at the same time as part 2. So that's one of the reasons why I don't think that we're going to be waiting as long. Because also they want to retire. Some of them are trying to retire and enjoy retirement. They can't enjoy retirement if they're still working.
Yeah, absolutely. So, any last thoughts? And then I'm going to get into some comments, make a couple of comments myself, and then we're going to close out.
Not from me.
All right. So, let me just run through here. She loves something. Gnarly loves something. Some idea that you had. Cloud will collect all the chocobos for the chocobo stop to form a chocobo army. Awesome. It'd be the cutest army ever created.
Absolutely would.
You know what? A real quick question. What's your favorite of these characters? Like the Cactuar, Tomberry, the Moogle, and the Chocobo? Moogle.
Moogle, mostly because I have one.
Oh, well, yeah. See, I have his name is Choco the Chocobo. It's very original. Very
I've got my
original
Chocobo pendant right here.
Yes, I actually got this for my niece when she was little. Then, of course, at some age, she decided she wanted more, so I was like, I'm taking this back. So I've had this Moogle since she was a baby. She is gonna be 16 next year, so I've had this Moogle for a very, I mean, not Moogle, good Lord, Chocobo for a very long time.
I've got a Moogle right here.
Yeah. So yeah, I have had this Chocobo for a very long time.
Yeah, so let's not offend the Moogles. She's already stressed out because of the storm outside.
Yes. So speaking of Tifa spirit animal, that new Kuju figure for Tifa, it's super cute.
I saw that. I was gonna buy it if I could. I scoured. I was gonna buy it.
Did they actually put it on sale though?
No, I don't know if they did.
Because I know it was just supposed to be a prize. So I don't know that they actually put it on sale.
I would have if I could have.
I would if I was Square Enix. Square Enix could end their money troubles tomorrow if they start just start putting Tifa merch out. We'd be buying it. I mean, every time I turn around, she's sold out.
Exactly.
That girl can sell some merchandise. Yeah. That girl can sell some merchandise. It is insane.
As somebody that sells Tifa inspired merch, yes, she does.
Yes. And speaking of, once again, Rhea has a shop. Rhea Trinkets.
Rhea's Trinkets and Charms. You can find me on Etsy. If you type in, or once you check out, and you type in Stitch FF7, you'll get 20% off of any Final Fantasy VII inspired merch that I have listed. I did add a couple more items to the shop, so be sure to swing by and make some purchases. Help your girl get to Japan.
Awesome. So, I think that's it. The only other things I'll say is, like I said, I will continue the final part of the Rebirth coverage that I want to do on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mm-hmm. I will actually do it as part of my Stygian Sis Fireside Chat, which is a new, series, I guess, that I'll be doing every Sunday. Also, if you didn't hear this today, Ever Crisis is going to have an event for Halloween in Nibelheim, which we're super freaking excited about. If you know the Discord that I'm part of, or Cloud Tifa events, we've been doing an event called Cloudy Ween for a couple years now. And it's a fan favorite. Everybody loves it. And now we're going to have official Cloudy Ween content, basically. So, we're going to be doing it real big this year.
Oh, can you? I'm going to be so busy.
Yeah. The dates are October 27th through the 31st. And we'll be putting out information about it soon. Depending on what's in the story, things in the Ever Crisis story, things could change a little bit as far as the themes, but just keep if you go to @CloudTifa events, you can keep up with all the news on that. So also, if you are, and this is unrelated to FF7, but if you are a Final Fantasy 16 fan who loves Clive and Jill, we have an event going on called we have basically a Moongazer event because they're Moongazers. So that will be happening starting this Friday. It's going to be a 3-day event, September 29th through the 1st. And if you go to Clive Jill events, let me just double check that because it's relatively new. Yes, @Clive Jill events, you can get the details on that with the pinned tweet. So lots of exciting stuff going on. And then at some point next week, I will do, hopefully we'll have more information after the 28th, because they will be starting fresh with the Ever Crisis stuff because it'll be a new month, basically. I will do an Ever Crisis stream specifically. I'll go over all the stuff that's coming up. And now the only thing that I might miss telling you is I think this Sephiroth dungeon thing starts on Friday. Basically you'll be, but anyway, whatever has not passed at that point, I will go through all that, and I want to go through Cloud's character story. It is extremely important. You're gonna love it. I'm telling you. So that's all my announcements. Thank you so much to everybody who joined us today. I I will do and edit it. I'll keep this up until I edit it, and then I'll give the condensed version of it without me rambling on and stuff. But yes, thank you so much to Rhea, to Tifa the Monk, who joined us briefly, and of course, your girl Stygian, sis. We will see y'all later. Thank you so much, Gnarly, the Mashika, Rydia, Nightmare, Juju, Charles, Kita Aris, everybody, Michelle. Sorry if I missed any names, but thank you so much. Meg the Megabyte. Yes. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Please stay safe and healthy. It's going around, folks.
Yes. See y'all.